Welcome to the 224 Podcast. Powerful.
I am a revolutionary.
Provocative.
We want freedom. By any means necessary.
Inspiring.
Here we go.
And now, your hosts, Tyson and Jay.
Yo, what's good in the
what's
neighborhood?
Up, world,
Yo.
what's going on, everybody? What's happening?
This is a motherfucking, oh my God, this whole show gonna be a vibe
It's gonna
today.
be lit.
Oh my God.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it.
into it. This is Jay.
I'm Tyson.
This is the 224 Podcast.
224.
Thank you for
224.
tuning in
224.
again.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
You know we love y'all niggas,
We
man.
love
Come on,
everybody.
Man. Come on, man. First, let's start off with a couple of quick hits in this motherfucker.
Let's do this.
Let's get into Father's Day, man. We didn't get a chance to get on and record
man.
yesterday. Yesterday was wall to wall things happening, but it was like so chill.
I know, man.
And
I
I appreciate the fan. I appreciate you, little bro.
I appreciate you.
Little bro bought me a fucking
I appreciate you.
a Fletcher Cox jersey.
Oh, fly.
He bought me another Eagles shirt, and he bought me an Eagles hat. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the Eagles hat is like one of those.
It's a dad hat.
It's a dad hat.
It's definitely a dad hat.
It's a dad hat. It's not a fitted. I like fitted hats.
It's definitely
But
a
it's
dad
a dad
hat.
hat.
though.
One of them baseball caps where you
Yeah.
like, nigga, the shit is very slender.
It's very
and I got a big
definitely-
ass head.
It's definitely a dad
So this
hat.
shit look like one of them little, you know how motherfuckers, the monkeys be having the little Moroccan monkeys be having the little
it's a
caps
fez?
on with the
It's a
little,
fez?
yeah, he got a little fez hat on,
'Cause
man.
it's
I'm
not a
like,
fez
what the
cap.
fuck?
Okay,
It looked like it doesn't
It's-
feel like one. That shit feel like a yarmulke on my head. That
This
shit
guy's
small as
This
hell.
guy's trash.
I said, that
This
nigga
guy
got me a
is-
kufi. This shit is tight than a motherfucker.
Brother Eagle.
That nigga said, brother Philadelphia.
Brother Philadelphia. Come on in here, brother
He said,
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia Yashweh. God damn. Nigga, the Eagle Muhammad looking ass nigga. I mean, that shit
Stupid,
small
man.
as fuck.
This guy is great.
But I appreciate that. I appreciate the Eagles gift for sure. You know how we rock,
rock with the whole team, baby.
It's the whole team. You know what I mean?
No team like the whole team.
Then my wife and my children, they got me this great smoker.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah,
smoking meats and shit. And
Yeah,
I'm a big like cookout grill type of motherfucker. I like doing shit like that.
Nice
You know what I
smoker
mean?
too, by the way. It's
They got
really
a nice smoker. They got me some comic books. Cause I obviously like to read, but I also like to read shit that doesn't, expand my mind in that sort of way, but just to entertain me.
That's it. Entertainment's worth it.
They also got me some more shit for the for the grill, and again I like to
Grilling up.
shit.
Bang Ramsey coming for your job. Like, are you gonna be?
And,
We have the meats.
My oldest bought me like a ton of fucking candy. Like she just bought me like the Ferrero.
She coming for your life insurance policy.
Yeah, she is. She
That was
trying to call my
undercover.
goddamn lot up. And she know exactly what to do. She bought me a ton of Reese's. That's my favorite fucking candy. And then she bought me some of the Ferrero Rocher.
He said Rocher.
The Ferrero Rocher.
Ferrero.
Listen.
You said it was Ferrero Rocher.
During our book club, this past Saturday, my cousin who was in our book club, she pointed out that I was saying Hermes wrong, but I was saying it incorrectly because of the topic that we were speaking on.
Satire, ladies and gentlemen.
Again, so Weedy was like, if you don't buy you one of these Hermes bags, then you need to send that nigga back to the street.
Okay.
Well, don't buy her a Hermes or whatever the fuck it's called, a herpes or whatever kind of bag
you
it
don't
is.
want to buy her that bag.
Don't buy her that shit. Now,
you can give it to her, but don't buy her the bag.
And so I told her, I was like, listen.
That's insult to injury.
I was like, I know how to say the word. I'm saying it on purpose. I'm saying it like that.
It's disgusting.
On purpose. You feel me? But that don't mean I don't get everywhere right.
That's right.
And that particular candy, Ferrero Rocher.
Ferrero Rocher.
Ferrero See, niggas not gonna get on us. You're being intolerant and this to the Asian community.
Hey,
it's one of the best Christmas movies. In fact, in my personal opinion, it's the best holiday movies
of all time. It's really funny.
I mean, let's be honest.
It's hilarious.
You know what I mean? It is what it is. So, and that's what they say on there. And there's a bunch of Asians saying it. And that's not me.
So if the Asians are saying it,
don't come at me, okay?
I don't know.
Well, all I'm saying is, to my cousin, I ain't gonna fuck some words up. I don't get all of them right.
No, we don't.
You understand?
No, we don't.
You know what I mean?
We're human.
I'm human, yo.
Okay.
But
the Ferrero Rochers were
the Ferrero Rocher. the Ferrara.
The Ferrero Rocher.
The Forever My Ladies. You know what I'm saying?
Forever
my
My
daughter got me a
Ladies.
bunch of Forever My Ladies yesterday. The ones with the crushed up hazelnut and shit in it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good.
Them shits fire. Guess what? She bought me a fucking 12 pack of them shits.
Yeah.
Guess how many I ate yesterday? 12. Them
They're
shits
all gone. Yeah, they're probably
Shit's
gone.
gone.
Yeah, they're done.
12.
They're done.
To the
Stick
head.
a fork in them, coach.
12 for 12 yesterday.
They're 12 for 12.
12 for 12 yesterday.
Yeah,
I tore them shits up. So yeah, Father's Day was magnificent. I got to chill.
Yeah, shout out to
I cut
all
my
the
son
fathers.
hair, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It was a good chill day.
Yeah, so all the fathers out there, I hope y'all had a really good day. Well, no, listen, let me take that back. All the fathers who do their fucking who comply and do their fucking job, who maintain a relationship, a proper relationship with their children.
Shout out to all the men out there that water their seeds.
The ones,
every last one of you,
who take their obligation to those children seriously.
Now you deadbeat motherfuckers.
I hope you had a happy Father's Day.
You can eat a
to
whole
the rest of you
bag
niggas.
of dicks. You can,
to the rest of you niggas.
We don't get down over here like that, son. You can eat a whole bag of dicks.
To the rest of you niggas, happy Sperm Donor Day.
There you go. You know, enjoy your immensely large satchel of Richards.
If you ain't never gave your child if you never had bath time with your child where you sat and played with the rubber duckies and all other shit. You never fucking helped the kid with homework. If you never fucking tucked them in the bed at night. You know what I'm saying? Read them a bedtime story, said a prayer with them, whatever the fuck it is you do.
That's
if
right.
you ain't never sat down and, you know what I'm saying, spent time with them, played a video game with them, you know what I mean, watched a movie with them, took them to the park, all this other kind of shit. If you ain't never did nothing like that. If you don't talk to your children, even if you're not with them every day, if you don't talk to your children 4 or 5 times a week, I talk to mine every day, even though they're not here every day. Well, 3 of them aren't here every day.
That's true.
The other 2 are here every day, so I talk to them every day. But if you're not with your if you don't talk to your children at least 4 or 5 days out the week, bruh, it's some kind of communication error. Something got to happen.
Yeah, something got to change.
I understand certain circumstances. You know, the other parent, this shit might not be the best parenting situation. But bro, if you're not in your kid's life, my nigga, you are a part of the problem in our community. And that's fact, bro. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
That's absolutely correct.
You're a part of the problem. So
that's absolutely
to
correct.
all you niggas, you know, happy Sunday, I guess. I don't know. You're not a father, not mine.
And you know what?
You know what I mean?
To touch on that a little bit, I did see a few young ladies, you know, who I went to school with prior, and some people I knew from previous businesses I worked. They were on I guess the new trend is it's a fuck a deadbeat. It's expose a deadbeat on Father's Day. That's the new trend. I saw so many posts and so many social media things about young ladies exposing these deadbeat dads. And, you know, hey, look, man, you know, either way of it, I don't have kids, so I don't have a dog in this fight. But in any situation, some of them young ladies will go in. And I was like, God damn, he must feel 2 inches tall right now.
So hurt people. That's number one.
Yeah. You know
number
that
2,
for sure.
ma'am, you let him in between your legs and then you let him ejaculate inside of you.
Oh, that's very graphic.
So, you know,
that's
a choice at that point.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? That's a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Number 3, you know, you went on social media and did that instead of, you know, maybe deal with that some other way.
Some young ladies were like releasing the court. Some young ladies were like putting out court dates. It was like, I see you on the 15th.
Because social media
going down.
Social media litigation don't mean shit in the real court of law.
Yeah.
So doing that shit only makes you look stupid. And for all the motherfuckers who do go on there and talk foul about their baby daddies, all the other motherfuckers, all the men who go on there and talk foul about their
too. I was gonna say it was men
baby
too.
mothers.
It was men on there too.
Y'all niggas look stupid. And
he was like, I ain't seen my baby in 6
months. That shit can be used against you in a court of law. Yeah. So for all the people who are listening who do goofy shit like that, stop now. It can be used against you. If you got real problems with the other parent, male or female, what you need to do is go through the proper channels to make sure that things are rectified. Correct. Instead of going on social media and throwing shots, that's not helping you. And if your kids are of age, they're on social media and they see that shit too.
Yeah.
And really, to be real with you, that's the only reason why they do shit like that is
For the clout.
No. It's to make the kids see that, oh, this nigga ain't shit or this bitch ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's why they do shit like that. So the kids can get fucked up because that's really not about them. You feel me? So that all that shit whack. But that wasn't the whole point of this shit. The point was
Father's Day.
The fathers out there doing that motherfucking jobs, doing their motherfucking thing, upholding their obligation.
Good job, fella. Salute to you, man. Excellent.
We salute y'all niggas.
We salute y'all, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all that.
One last quick hit. Because I said, you know, when I ate those Ferrero Rocher.
The Ferrero Rocher.
Beautiful chocolates, decadent chocolates.
Yes.
I went 12 for 12 yesterday.
12 for 12. He did not miss.
I didn't miss.
He did not miss. No.
Unfortunately for our fucking Sixers, we got some niggas on the team who won't shoot. You know what they say, right?
Yep.
They say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And Ben Simmons is 100% at missing.
Yeah.
Because this nigga won't even take, you know what? It's not, that's just, okay. This is a quick hit.
Yep.
But
Philadelphia 76ers, we lost to the Atlanta Hawks in Game 7 yesterday.
So we lost the semifinals, Eastern Conference semifinal series
Eastern Conference
to the fucking Atlanta Hawks.
The fucking Hawks.
The Hawks.
The fucking Hawks, man.
Yesterday, Trae Young wasn't even the fucking leading scorer on the team.
Wasn't.
You know who the leading scorer on the team was? White dude, Hunter.
His last name was Herter.
Herter. Yeah.
And it was hurting to watch that nigga score.
It hurt to see Shake Milton in there actually playing defense on him because he's a better fucking defensive assignment. And then Doc Rivers said, you know what? Even though this man, for this period of time that Shake Milton has been in there, has only went 1 for 4 or 1 for 5 or some shit like that. He's only hit 2 free throws. He's kind of Shake Milton's kind of keeping him in
under
check.
wraps. Yeah.
Let me put Seth Curry back in so he can cook Seth Curry again. And what happened?
Yeah.
Seth Curry started getting cooked by this nigga again.
So, you know, his brother's also a chef. Chef Curry. But today, Herter was the chef because he was cooking Seth.
and Cuz
cooking the shit out of him.
A career playoff high. He scored 27 points. I think that might have been his career high, period.
No, and he did it when it mattered. In a Game 7, you're facing elimination in hostile territory. He showed the fuck out
for 23.
Yeah.
He was 2 for 11 from 3-point range. That is a game the Hawks are fucking giving to us on a silver platter. Please take this game from us, but we couldn't. You wanna know why?
Yeah.
Because Doc Rivers did goofy shit like that.
And Ben Simmons literally just can't score.
And then Embiid.
Sad.
Embiid, even though the nigga had like what, 29, 30 points?
Yeah.
And 10 rebounds. He had a good game. That's not even what we arguing about. But it's like Embiid got to find a way
to take over.
Not to take over. Listen, I get it, Embiid. You feel like if you lose some weight, maybe you'll become more fragile. No. If you lose fat and build more muscle, maybe more like Giannis, your body will be stronger, bro. You need to lose 10 pounds. You need to lose 20 pounds and then add 10 pounds of muscle.
Can I make a statement from a personal trainer perspective? Last time I was watching the game, Dwight Howard looked absolutely fucking ripped. Whatever trainer Dwight Howard has, give him to Embiid. Embiid, you need that because Dwight Howard looked like he was in the prime of his life.
The problem with Dwight is just that he, you know, back in when he started to fall off, he'd get gassed pretty quickly. But it's never that he's been like some broken down, you know. Recently, he's had better health.
Yeah,
it was a stretch where he would be oft injured. You're like, what the fuck wrong with Dwight Howard? But I think ever since he got his nutrition and shit right, he's become a lot more cognitive of, you know, how he is on the court as far as his nutrition and his strength. And so strength and conditioning for Dwight Howard is not an issue. It is for Embiid, and it's not because he can't. He's fucking Joel Embiid. He finished second in MVP voting this year.
Yeah.
He can get proper strength and conditioning, and he can get into a better nutrition program. The issue is it doesn't seem like he wants to because maybe he feels like he'll get less injured or he get more injured if he kind of like didn't want to do that. So it's weird with him, man. It's like, bro, can you Stop trying to get out of the paint and shoot 3-pointers. You're a fucking monster. They can't stop you in the paint. Just go down there and do work. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what he needs. I think he needs to come in to next season like, bro, I'm just gonna be a monster down by.
But listen, but
there's nothing you can do. It's nothing you can do. There's nobody. Not the Greek Freak, not Anthony Davis,
not
one. Jokic,
no
not
one.
Fucking not
no one.
No one that can do anything with him when he is down bottom. There's nothing you can do. It's a wrap for you. And he need to, you know what? Fuck shooting these. If
but
you're
he
open,
had to shoot the threes because Ben ain't doing it.
That's not why he had to shoot the threes. He's just trying to incorporate the 3-pointer into his game because the game has went that way. But you don't need him to do that. What you need to do is surround him with shooters.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
The lack we have.
Whoo, shit.
The lack of that we have.
Danny Green. They thought Danny Green was going to be that. Wrong answer.
Yep.
And Seth Curry is streaky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, he can have a game like he did when he had game 5.
Yeah.
He can have a game like that.
Yeah.
He will give you that. And then he'll go 2 games and score 6 and 7 points. Like, he's streaky. You don't need someone that's streaky. You need someone who's more reliable than that. And as you saw last night, the nigga is kind of a liability on defense. He's not very, very good. Not for how the team is constructed, but we were the second overall defensive team in all of basketball behind the Lakers. Like, you can't have a good defensive team and then have that type of defensive player and then think, okay, we can make up for it with everybody else. Or we can make up for it with an all-worldly defender like Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Which is the main cause of concern and the main point of emphasis
Trade him
for this quick hit.
Now.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Get him out.
Listen.
Now.
I do not have a problem with Ben Simmons, the man. In fact, I don't really have a real issue with 98% of the players in the NBA as men. They're playing a fucking game. Yeah. It is a game, ladies and gentlemen. It's not that fucking serious.
Correct.
They're playing a game. And if someone wants to give them $1 million bajillion to play a fucking game, have at it. Good for them.
Yeah.
If somebody gave me $10 million a year to play Yahtzee, then I'm be the fucking Yahtzee pro of the year.
We rolling this Yahtzee out. This going with you.
I'm gonna have a Yahtzee shirt. My car gonna have a fucking Yahtzee, paint job. It's gonna everything.
Absolutely.
I'm the Yahtzee man. If somebody gonna pay me that much to play a game, so it's never ever any personal issues with these brothers.
No,
I mean,
never.
I wish these motherfuckers the best. In fact, get more money for playing this game. You know what I'm saying? And I wish our team would pay top tier players more money. I say go into the fucking luxury. So what? Yeah. Try to get a championship.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing about Ben Simmons personally. He's a young kid, man. He's like 24. Like he's a kid, man. He's young. Fuck all that other shit, man. You know what I mean? This ain't got nothing to do with him personally. We're talking strictly about basketball and what I see him doing on the basketball court as a fan.
Yeah.
This is about basketball, bro. If you are playing the game and you are an all-star, that's what he was this year. He's an all-star player. He was on the all-star team and played in the all-star game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Your first team all defense, because that's what you were. Your third team all NBA. So that's just again, all-star, first team all defense.
Yeah.
Third team all what that means when we say third team all NBA, it's only 3 teams all NBA. That means according to the NBA, the analysts, the writers, whoever voted for that shit, you are one of the 15 best players in the entire league.
Which makes you one of the best basketball players in the entire fucking world.
Planet. There is no godly way.
No godly.
You get to the playoffs after averaging 14 points a game, which again for him, and we'll get into that a little bit. After averaging for him, that's not good. After averaging 14 points a game this year, you go from 14 points a game to 5 points a game in this series. How in the fuck, bro?
Absolutely disappeared. Absolutely disappeared.
You're in the playoffs. Your average is supposed to go up because now it's more intense.
Yeah,
you're
going for the gold. Yeah,
something you know what I'm saying. That's what's supposed to happen, bro. Or at bare minimum, the same.
Yeah.
Can you just give me 14 points a game?
Oh my God, we'd have easily this series would have been 4-1. It'd have been a 4-1 series.
Let's be honest with each other. We lost the series at Game 5.
Yeah.
When we were up 26, that was
a coast.
That was
supposed to be a
end
coast.
of the game. That's 3-2. Game 6, it's over.
And that would have broke Atlanta Spirit. They're a young team too, but that would have broke them. They'd have like, damn, they blew us out by 20.
To be real,
and it would have been the second time in a row. It would have been back-to-back blowout victories.
The series was supposed to be over at Game 5 because in Game 4 we were up 18.
Yeah.
If we would have pulled out Game 4, it'd have been, and then Game 5 we got a 26-point lead.
Back-to-back blowout victories. Them boys would have been like,
there's nothing else. There's nothing else for us to talk about.
Yeah, we'd have been on a high horse. We'd have been coasting. Game 6 would have been. It'd have been a closeout. It'd have been done. Okay, go ahead.
In Game 5, they started something. They really started at the end of Game 4, but Game 5 they really started, like they really implemented that shit, especially in the third quarter. This is how they started to come back. They were like, we're gonna fucking foul Ben Simmons to the point of ad nauseum. Yeah. To the point where it's gonna piss everybody off. Yep. And you wanna know why we're gonna foul him? Because he can't hit a free throw to save anyone's life. Nope. That nigga, that shit made me think about the Patrice O'Neal joke when the nigga was like, I can't spell a word to save my life. Look at me, Mom. Look at me. I love you. With all my heart. Quit stalling, nigga. All right. That's what that shit made me think about.
That's exactly what it was.
Ben Simmons can't shoot a free throw to save his fucking life. But that's not even the real issue. The real issue with Ben Simmons is he won't even take a shot. You ready for this stat? Yep. Ben Simmons, for the entire series, every fourth quarter of this entire series, there were 7 of them. Yep. He has taken a total of 3 shots. Let me say that one more time so the niggas in the back can hear me.
It's trash, man.
Each quarter
I could take more shots
12 minutes. There were 7 fourth quarters in this series because there was 7 games played. So 7 times 12 is 84. In 84 minutes of fourth quarter play, that entire series against the Hawks, Ben Simmons took 3 shots. 3. Ready for this? I mean, let me dig into the stat a little more. 2 of those shots came in game 1. Wow. Game 2, 0. Game 3, 1. 2 + 1 is 3. That means game 4, 5, 6, 7, and all those fourth quarters, he didn't take a shot from the field. And you saw it last night
trash,
when he went again in the fourth quarter. It's 88-86. Atlanta has a 2-point lead. Yep. Embiid dishes the ball, or was it Tobias Harris? I think it was Embiid that dished the ball to Simmons down in the post.
Yeah, he give it the time.
He busted
takes
the spin
it all
move,
the way under the basket.
The spin move past Collins. Yeah. He fucking little small ass Trae Young then collapses on him to try to play defense. It's 6'4", 6'3" Trae Young against 6'10" Ben Simmons. Everybody in the crowd stood up on their feet like even he about to dunk on this nigga. Yeah. Guess what he did? Pass that shit to Thibault. Thibault tried to fucking do a fucking reverse layup. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't Thibault. Or was it?
I think it was.
It was Matisse. Okay. He threw that shit, man. No, Matisse Thibault was the same person.
I was the same person. I was like, wait. Matisse Thibault was the same person.
He threw it to Thibault. I'm thinking Maxey.
Maxey, yeah.
He threw that. He passed that shit to Thibault, and you can see the fans who are sitting behind the rack. They got their fucking head like, what the fuck was he just doing?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's fucking Trae Young. You can't dunk on Trae Young. Yeah. We see you dunk on fucking Greek Freak. You can't dunk on Trae Young.
That's it, man. This guy.
I was like, this is some bullshit.
I gotta say it again. Get rid of the Ben Simmons.
And real rap, at least Embiid is cognitive of the situation and cognitive of the moment. Because after the game, his press conference, he said that was a turning point. And that's exactly when they started pulling away. That's exactly when Atlanta started pulling away. That was the fucking moment. Niggas was looking at this nigga like, Ben, what the fuck are you doing? That was you. You could have been aggressive in that moment. Yeah. it's like, why would you do that, bro?
And even if he would have missed the free throws. It doesn't matter. It would that his aggressiveness that would have shown him, okay, when he get in the paint, he gonna
because
elevate.
the only thing Trae Young could have done in that moment was foul.
That's it.
But if you dunk it, bro, it's an and one. You're that close to the rack. It's
so now it's a tie
this nigga
game.
was damn near under the fucking hoop.
He was, yeah.
It was going to be an and one. So what? You missed the free throw. The game is tied at that point.
Absolutely. Now everyone else can go into a different kind of thinking. Now we in go mode. It's tied up. You play a little bit more extra defense. We in there. You know what I'm saying? The game is won.
But niggas was looking at that nigga like, what the fuck was he thinking?
Yeah, man.
Once because I think Thibault got fouled.
Yeah,
and he only hit one free throw.
He only hit one free throw.
Once the whistle was blown and they called foul, Tobias Harris was looking like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I saw it. Tobias Harris' face was
what the fuck
everything.
Happened?
He was chewing gum.
That shit?
His mouth was so wide open. You saw the gum he was chewing. He was like,
what the fuck was that?
It was funny as shit.
It's listen.
Yeah, Ben Simmons.
And again, this is just basketball. Again, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it in a basketball context. The stats, everything. It's like, bro, like Magic Johnson said this shit on Get Up this morning on ESPN. It might just be beneficial for both parties. Just trade him, man.
That's it.
Give him because cause people saying that he is going to be the next LeBron James or whatever like that. I always thought that was hyperbole. Like, he's not going to be the next LeBron James, but I can understand why they would say some shit like that and the skill set that he may have if he can develop a shot. I don't think he'll be as potent on the court as LeBron James, but if he can get a shot where he could get 20 points a game and then stay aggressive where he could get 10 rebounds a game and 10 assists a game and become a fucking
he'll be a danger.
and become Tim Duncan at a point guard position, that's dangerous. That's something that's not LeBron James, but that's something maybe worse in this league if you surround him with shooters. You know what I'm saying? Because if he could become Tim Duncan at a point guard position where he's a super floor general, where he can play defense and shut down a point guard and still get 10 rebounds and 10 assists, and he has shooters who can hit 40% from the 3-point range.
Oh, it's dangerous.
That's a dangerous ass team.
Yeah,
that's a super dangerous ass team. I never thought
gonna have to score 120.
I never thought he was gonna be a LeBron, but if he could be point guard Tim Duncan, that's a fucking dangerous ass player. That's his potential to me. That's his potential.
Yeah,
but you gotta shoot the fucking basketball, kid.
Yeah,
if it's it just looked like it's something
part of
mental.
The game.
I would tell Ben Simmons, the first thing you need to do during this offseason, man, is go talk to somebody. Whatever it is going on in your life, man, and everybody got shit going on, man. Look, we just talked about on the last show, Naomi Osaka. Like, if you got to step back, bro, step back.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying? Get your shit together. Like, and that's not just for again, that's a game, bro. Fuck basketball. Whatever it is, it may be affecting you personally. So, you know what I'm saying? Get your mind, get your mental health right, man. No one wants to see young men, especially young black men, like going like down like a road where it's like, nah, I don't feel confident, I don't feel this, I wasn't myself, or I didn't have it offensively.
We don't want to see you crash out, player.
It's like, bro, like,
not at all.
Whatever that is mentally, bro, go get yourself together. You know what I'm saying? Because the media gonna tear you up. And as far as basketball is concerned, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But you know how the media does it. This is why Kwame Brown went on, is where he's at now, because the media will put the personal shit into it, calling a nigga weak, calling a nigga this, calling a nigga that. It's like, and when they say it like that, they make it seem like him personally, the man is weak.
Yeah, we got
unfair. But that's what's gonna happen. And if you're not mentally strong enough to handle that shit, because that's what the media is gonna do. The media is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna fuck with you some more, and then it's going to fuck with your performance at your profession. So you gotta get your mind
is already
right.
Lacking, so we don't need that to go any further down. So
you know what I'm saying? Get your mind right on, whatever. Be at ease with yourself. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Then from there, you could come back to the game, and now we can let's talk. Let's get your shot together. Let's get you a go-to shot from 15. Yeah. Where you pick a spot where you can get to a spot and you can shoot that shit with confidence. And then from there we'll build up But I want you point to the fucking floor, and point to the perimeter,
Point to the
and
area
pick a shot
that you think you can hit.
15 feet. Pick. Is it top of the key? Is it, you know what I'm saying, on the side, wherever it is, pick a spot, and we just gonna shoot 1,000 shots a day from there.
From there, that's it.
And we're gonna get your confidence up, and we're gonna get you wanting to shoot that shot. Even if you can't get the other shot at the beginning of the season, even if we can't get you the other shots at the 15 foot. I want you to be able to go to that spot and be confident enough to shoot that shot.
That's right.
That's number one. You know what I'm saying? Well, number two, because number one would be getting your mind right so you can have enough confidence to be able to even take a shot. Then being able to work on a shot. And then getting the mindset of just staying aggressive. Just fucking don't worry about the other shit, bro. Even if you missed a fucking shot. We could work on free throws at practice all fucking day. You know what I'm saying?
But they tell you that in sports too, when you're in organized sports.
But you
gotta have a short memory, man. The last mistake is the last mistake. You working on right now. You're working on the future right now.
Stay aggressive, but keep attacking.
You know what I'm saying? They tell you that.
Attacking, no matter what, bro. No matter what. But I don't think it's gonna be in Philly. And that's just, and listen, and again, just talking about basketball, how the shit works. I was one of the people who was like, listen, you trade him for Harden. That's a better pick and roll. Embiid and Harden is a better pick and roll situation than Simmons and Embiid.
Yeah.
That was my personal opinion, basketball wise. And I thought we should have pulled the trigger on that. The fact that we didn't pull the trigger on that, I think that was, now, in the end, it cost us.
Now, granted, both teams are sitting at home at this point.
Both teams at home now.
At this point, you know what I'm saying? Both on the couch. But what I'm saying, I agree with Jay. What he's saying is that would have been a better. If Harden would have has all the shots in his bag
during our series, right? Yeah. I think we'd have won that shit. I think we'd have won. I think we'd have swept them.
Yeah, we would have swept Atlanta. Yeah, for sure.
I think we would have swept them
for sure. They would have had, especially the way we were continuously playing defense. And don't get me wrong, Ben did a tribute to that defensive stops that we did have. And you know what I'm saying? But with the absolute offensive onslaught that Harden would have brought onto the field with us, the Hawks would have had no answer. Trae Young would have had to contest with not only Joel Embiid, Harden, and, you know, what was I saying? Tobias Harris had some consistent series, except for like consistent games, except for like game 5 and
game 5
was his worst game.
Was his worst game of the playoffs.
But he consistently put up 20 plus. There's no way Trae Young can compete with all three of them shooting the way they were shooting and playing the way they were playing for a series of 7. Ain't no fucking way. Atlanta had no answer for all three of them. If we had Harden, it would have no way.
It would. And again, we didn't have Embiid in game 1, but. If we had Harden, I don't think if you have Trae Young and James Harden at this point, I think Harden is still the better player, even though Trae Young is what, 22, 23? He's gonna be Trae Young is gonna be one of the 5 best players in this league for the next decade. That's just let's call it what it is. And that's not to take anything from the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks won the series. Yeah. Congratulations to Atlanta. Trae Young, even though, you know, we joke around and shit about Trae Young. Trae Young is a cold ass basketball player. It is what it is. That motherfucker is cold. You know what I'm saying? That's why a nigga nickname is now starting to become Ice Trae, because he's fucking nice. It is what it is. But if the dynamics of our team, the roster of our team was constructed differently, if it was Harden, Embiid, and Tobias Harris, we'd have won that series. If not sweeping them, it'd have been 4-1. There's no way we have Harden on that team and Embiid with a pick and roll like that, and we just fucking blow a 26 point lead.
Absolutely
not.
The
reason why the lead was blown like that is because they could attack Ben Simmons and foul him and send him to the line. Even they didn't worry about sending him to the line. He's missing 2.
Yeah. And
he's going 26% from the stripe.
And for those who are not basketball savvy,
they'll live with that.
Yeah. When you foul Ben Simmons, he goes to the line. He misses the 2 shots. So that's a missed offensive opportunity, and it's a possession for the opposing team. They get the ball right back.
They get the rebound.
You see what I'm saying? So like y'all, if you're not basketball savvy, that changes the dynamic of the game. It slows it down.
So what, my team? I bring somebody off the bench who only played 3 minutes a game. Let them get 6 fouls. What does it matter? He don't score anyway.
See what I'm saying? So now you got 6 empty opportunities.
Exactly. Yeah. You fouled Ben Simmons 6 times. Ben Simmons hit, out of the fucking 12 free throws he could make in those 6 opportunities, he make 2 of them.
See?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then y'all get the rebound, and you know. So
but look, hey, ready?
And time off the clock. Come on, yo.
Off of the 6 defensive rebounds that they get, now they have offensive opportunities.
Yep.
They score half. They score on half of the time. They score 6-7 points if they hit a three pointer. So now in those six transitions, it's 6-2. It's 6-2. That's how you get back. That's a strategy.
That's right.
That's how they got back in the games. So to end it, man, listen. Another disappointing. This process is long as fuck. I'm sick of it. We've been going through this shit since what, 2013?
For real.
Tanking and not winning to the point where we started winning.
Yeah.
And now it's like we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting out of the second round.
But we see that we have the potential to go all the way. We see it. But y'all are not nurturing that. Like for some reason. At this point,
it's the roster. I don't think Tobias Harris is the problem, even though I think Tobias Harris
is dangerously overpaid.
No. Well,
dangerously overpaid.
Let me say this. Okay, again, it's a game. They gonna pay that man how they want to pay him.
True.
Let him get his fucking money.
Get your money, young brother.
Well, I'm speaking as like front office type motherfuckers. I would, if we could get a shooter like I don't know, Stephen Curry, maybe. I would ask Tobias Harris.
Yeah, we got the lesser Curry.
Just let me get 3, 4, 5 million off his contract. That's it. That's all.
We got imitation Curry.
That's all. I would ask if he said no. Okay,
his older brother got the Lowrys in his season, but our
trying to win a
Curry ain't got that
championship.
kind of season.
I just asked. That's all. But you're right. You are obligated to your contract, and so are we. You know what I'm saying? So it is. I'm not trying to take money out of that man's pocket.
No, absolutely
his family's
not.
pockets.
No,
I'm not trying.
We ain't hating on that at all.
I'm not on none of that shit.
Get your bread,
We're
bro.
just saying, if we could get Steph Curry, would niggas take a pay cut to get him to get here? That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
Because with Steph Curry, the pick and roll would be good.
Oh, absolutely.
Because of his 3-point shooting.
That's right.
So, and how he can, he's not nearly the defensive player that Ben Simmons is.
No.
But, the offensive side of Steph Curry, I mean, he changed the game. So, right. It's kind of a wash at that point. But yeah, I mean, I don't think again, you can't say these motherfuckers are under. I hate that narrative of people underpaid, overpaid. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand it when it comes to it's a salary cap league. So you gotta say da. But for what Tobias Harris is, I don't think he underpaid or overpaid. But I do think if we could get a Steph Curry, if we could get a Steph Curry, if we get if you got to ask him to come off a little bit, can you come off a little bit? Can you on some salary cap shit? If this was, I wish because of how popular basketball is globally, I wish it was an uncapped league like baseball. Give them motherfuckers all the money. I don't give a fuck. But because it's a cap league, it's like, bro. I mean, come on, bro. Come on, man. You gonna make more money than Steph Curry? Like, come on, man.
I understand that, but I don't know. Joel Embiid is the reason we even made the playoffs this year. So what the Weezing? I'm gonna say Ronald Weasley says the Weezing. So I wouldn't ask him to come up off a dime. And I gotta say this because it wasn't. We understand we're playing a team sport, but I cannot specifically attribute a moment in our series or in our entire season where he didn't show up and do his job. He didn't show up in was it game 4 in the fourth quarter? That nigga won game 3 or one of them games. That nigga was over. Joel Embiid had he was what? He was over.
Joel Embiid won like fucking 0 for 8 in the fourth quarter. One of these guys, I want to say it was either game 3 or 4. In fact, I think it was game 4 because that was the game where one of the comebacks happened. He had his fuck ups too. He did, but and again, he wasn't available game 1, and the best ability is availability. We understand that. So, but he compared to the list of people we can chop and cut and right. The way you saying it though is like he don't get no blame. That nigga No, I didn't say that. Joel Embiid gets blamed. I predecessed that with saying that he's not perfect, and of course, obviously, I'm just saying that he's the reason we're there in the first place. He played immaculate this season. This season was a great season for us. You use the word predecessed. Is that a word? Yes. Predecessed? Yes. Predecessor is a word? Want me to Google it? It's preface. I prefaced too, but can you say predecessor too? I don't, go ahead, bro. Anyway, all of it was before, okay? I said what I said before. I said what I said because I said it. I said what I said because I said it. But anyway, yeah, I'm not saying he don't have no blame, man. You know, those major turnovers, man, we were turnover prone, and he was one of our biggest
contributors to us turning it over, but damn, this quick hit long.
Like I said, predecessor.
This quick hit long as hell.
Quick hit is long.
This long hair quick hit.
And like I said, predecessor.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Ooh.
So, but yeah, definitely, the Sixers got to do some shit, shake some shit up in the offseason, man. We can't continue to go like this.
We can't keep.
We can't, you know, we are a prideful town. The booze started raining down heavy last night in the fourth quarter, and we don't give a fuck who you are.
Let's call it what it is. About us as fans from Philly, let's call it what it is. Niggas are overly emotional. All that prideful shit. We're a prideful bunch of no niggas from Philly are overly emotional ass niggas. Let's keep it a buck with each other. We're overly emotional, yo. That's how we've always been. We're emotional ass fans. How the fuck you throw snowballs at Santa? We're emotional as fuck, yo. But that's a part of our strength too. Is that emotion? We wear it on our sleeves. You know what I mean? And at this point, bro, the process. Y'all gotta change that shit up. Let's start processing shit and start applying. We need
because eventually the process will give you results.
Yeah, instead of the process, let's call this shit the application. Because we need to start applying. We can't keep processing and thinking. We need to start applying now. We need to start doing.
We're no longer in the contemplative process.
So stop calling this shit the process. Call it the application, man. We gotta fucking or niggas need to start applying somewhere else. Other niggas need to start writing applications for somewhere else. Starting with Doc Rivers. I understand. Listen, bro, Doc Rivers, you just signed a 5-year contract. I'm not calling for you to be fired. That would be stupid. However, bro, we do see tape. I saw the tape last year when your team blew games 5, 6, and 7 closeout games against a Denver Nuggets team that was inferior to you, motherfuckers.
My God.
Y'all should have beat them. In 3 straight closeout games, y'all niggas had double-digit leads and blew double-digit leads. And I told, when we talked this morning, I said, niggas,
we said that.
Look, Doc, if I was upper management, I would pull a fucking TV out, and I would have games 4, 5, 6, and 7, and I would be
all the blame don't go on those guys.
When you came here and you was going through the interview process, you said, look, the players, they didn't want to, and you could see basketball wise, and I was okay, bet we fed into that shit.
That's it.
And I would just pull that same TV out, and I just look at those games and be like, that's you.
That's you standing right there.
This you?
Yeah. Doc,
this you right here, right?
I know that's you, Doc. And look at you with your melted ice cream face.
Hey,
that's you.
Hey, Doc.
Okay, that is you, Doc Rivers.
This you?
Raspy ass voice. Do you eat cigarettes?
Game 5, Doc.
What is going on?
This you?
Are you a smoker?
Game 6, Doc. This you?
There's something going on with your throat. Your voice is always raspy.
Game 4 this year, Doc. This you?
That's it.
Game 5, Doc. This you?
That's you.
Game 7, Doc. This you?
That's you, mesothelioma.
I'm just saying. They put him a stat as he was doing his press conference last night after the game.
What'd they say?
They said Doc Rivers has played in 15 game 7s, the most any coach has coached in NBA history. He's coached 15 game 7s.
Damn, I didn't know that stat. That's cool.
Not Phil Jackson, not Red Auerbach.
Nope.
Not Pat Riley.
Nope.
Not Greg Popovich.
No, these some greats.
Not the greats. None of them. Him. Doc. This you. Now I'm not asking you a question now. That's a statement. This you, Doc.
This right here.
This you.
This right here.
Just starting to look like you
right
blow
here.
a whole bunch of motherfucking
This
games.
here you.
This you, bro.
This here you, player.
And this need to not be you next year coming to the playoffs, because the same team that you said quit on you last year, they in the Western Conference Final for the first time in the history of that franchise. That team, they still dancing.
Some look fishy.
So I don't know, Doc. I'm just saying. What's up, Doc?
Look a little
Doc, what's up, Doc?
Disney, we do not own the rights to that saying.
Well, it's not Disney, it's Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers, whatever.
Yeah.
We don't own the rights to that saying whatsoever. Okay?
What's up, Doc? I'm just saying, Doc, what's up? What's up?
I throw your disclaimers out there when this nigga turned to Bugs Bunny.
Let's look, Sixers, get y'all shit together, fix the roster. The roster, listen, let somebody else fix Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, again, bro, I fuck with you on a personal level.
Damn
you know what I'm saying?
Damn sure do.
And there's nothing about the man. I hope you keep going, brother. Keep getting better. Get your mind right and everything like that. But it's time to separate Ben Simmons and Embiid. Let's just let him go somewhere else and start over. Let's get someone in here to maximize what Joel Embiid is. Let's fix this roster, bro.
Yeah.
And get rid of Danny Green. What the fuck is he doing on the team?
Well, Danny Green was hurt too anyway. It don't matter. What the fuck he doing there?
He didn't
anyway?
do anything before that. Get rid of him.
He's sucking up goddamn space. Get him the hell out of there.
Let's get to our first main topic, bro. So go ahead, bro.
Shit, we spent 40 minutes on our quick hits.
That wasn't quick at all. Shit. That wasn't quick at all.
That was dangerous.
We should have made one of them. Maybe should have had 3 main topics and just fucking talk about the Sixers.
That's it.
These oh my God.
That's all right.
Go ahead, bro.
All right, so listen, ladies and gentlemen, enough of the Sixers talk. What we're going to talk about today is I'm going to talk to you guys and give some information on what we like what's been in the news lately, and it's been garnering some attention from some well-known sources, both good and bad. And it's about critical race
and some
theory.
of these politicians was like, let's make some laws to stop niggas from talking about this shit.
Yeah, man. And we always say on this show for sure is that thinking is not illegal yet, but they are trying so goddamn hard to do so. And when I say that, this is one of the biggest news issues or biggest issues they have right now, which is called critical race theory. And if you don't know what critical race theory is an academic concept that is it's about 40 or 50 years old that they've been talking about. But what it really is that it's the idea that racism is a social construct and that is not merely the product of an individual bias or prejudice, right? But also embedded in the United States legal system and the fabric of the country. The soul of America is racist inherently. So before I give you a little bit more about the story,
Right. So before we move forward, let's straighten out some things. When you talk about the United States of America, people think that's like this land.
Yeah.
That's not
so romanticized.
No, it's not. It's factually incorrect. The United States of America is not a plot of land. Mm-hmm. This land was here before the idea of America began.
Yeah.
So this piece of land that has now been sectioned off as the USA, that's not its inherent name. It's not, there's all this shit is a social construct, right? Mm-hmm. Nothing about the United States of America is inherent to the actual physical land that we're on.
Correct.
So when you hear motherfuckers say, this is the land of my fathers, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's the land of no one. Mm-hmm. This doesn't belong to any one human being or any one group of humans ever. And it will never. Yeah. That's the whole point of it. Right? That's the real rub. Like, it doesn't belong to any of us.
Yeah.
That is
so we're all equal. We're all supposed to be free.
That's the part of the
ideology.
Fucked up ideologies that somehow it belongs to you. It's like, and kind of doesn't. America is a social construct. It's an ideology. It's a set of beliefs, right?
Yep.
That's what you should be focusing on, is the belief system of what America is. Then you can, from there, you can start breaking down some of the critical race theory and the points of critical race theory. So I wanted to point that out first.
Yeah, that was good.
America isn't it's not a physical thing. Like, the United States of America is not a physical thing. It's not. If it was, and someone was to invade America, they would call that shit, say, for example, if China was to invade America, they could just come, if they took over, they could just call this shit New China.
That's true.
But you can't call a motherfucking BMW, Honda a BMW. No, that's a Honda, my nigga.
That is a Honda hatchback.
That's a Honda. I know the fuck a Honda Civic look like.
Hatchback 3.5.
That's a Honda Civic. Just because you think, the ideal that I have about this car
in about 7 minutes.
That shit goes 0 to 60 in 0 to 60 years.
It takes a long time,
bro. Like, it's a Honda Civic. You can't call it. Or you can't, because I have an ideal about how this car looks and feels to me.
Correct.
It's now a Mercedes-Benz. No, it's a fucking Honda Civic. It's built a certain way. There's physical properties about it, and then there's a name on it.
Yeah.
They named it a certain way. It's made by a certain company. That's what it is.
That's right.
You can't change what the name is to a place, a thing, if that's what it is.
That's right.
The land is just a land. There was no name to it. We came and gave it a name. The fucking Indians didn't even get it. I'm sorry. You can't say Indians. The Indians didn't give it a name. Fuck all that. I don't give a fuck. I hold my nuts on everything, nigga. Fuck this shit. They didn't even give it a name.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah.
The Native Americans were like, this is our group of people.
Yeah.
We live off the land.
We live off the land. And this is
It's the land. They didn't call it shit.
They didn't call it shit. They just called it the mother. It was just the mother.
You know what I'm saying?
This is the mother.
We came over here and said, this is America.
Yep.
And then my forefathers deserve this shit because my forefathers, you know, this is their land. I was like, no, it's not. So, I'm sorry to make that so long-winded.
That's fine,
but I just want people to understand.
You gave it background context because what critical race theory actually does is it actually challenges what you were just talking about of that ideology, because it also puts it together with the reason that critical race theory is so very important and needs to be talked about is because what it's saying that the very progress of this nation was racially based. And there are as we talked about, facts are facts. They're undisputable. You can't change what history has marked down. Facts are facts. That critical race theory actually gives you examples of base facts of how this country was shaped from its very inception to where we are now on a racial bias against different people by its original colonizers. And that is the truth. And it's sad because at this point in time, people of color in the United States, we know it. We see it. We've lived it. We're like, yeah, that's what's always been going on. But now critical race theory is putting it in the face of scholars. It's now academically being proven that the United States, things like Manifest Destiny, the Trail of Tears, things like the actual slave trade, all of these things built this country. This country would not be as great if it was not for the subjugation of another race. And it was done by the primary race in control. So that's why they're talking about critical race theory now.
I agree with most of that shit. I would say this right here.
Yeah.
That last little part is where it gets dicey for me. Okay, talk to me. Because you said it was perpetuated by the race in control.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it was perpetuated by a couple of motherfuckers who happen to be a part of a race in control. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, the reason I'm saying that is the reason that the race, I can't say that either, because it has to be that whether you were ineffectually, and we're going to just speak in plain terms here, whether you were ineffectually part of the white elite, the 1% or not, you perpetuated this cycle. So let's say the Sears and Roebuck owner in whatever town, Humbuck, Kansas, you know what I'm saying? You helped perpetuate the racial ideals that kept other people subjugated so that you can advance both economically or whatever. You were also part of that process.
Right.
You know, because your grandfather did it, because your grandfather's grandfathers did it, because your grandfather's grandfather did it. So you perpetuated that racial undertone that controlled every major aspect of American life up until the 20th century.
Even past the 20th.
Yeah, even past the 20th, because it's happening now today. So you were part of that as well. And because you shared, again, you may have been part of the same, like you just said, you may have been part of the same racial group that the controlling elite was a part of, but you also helped perpetuate it as well. Right. And again, it goes vice versa. So the critical race theory now is starting to be seen as, like Jay just said, as a divisive educational tool. You know, that they don't want it in colleges, they don't want it in schools, they don't want it taught as well because they want to keep history in America whitewashed. And I gotta say that because that's the truth. Critical race theory challenges the fact that no, America just didn't spring out of this primordial ooze and became great because everybody came together and held hands. No, the truth of the matter is America was built on the backs of slaves and other subjugated races, like, you know, the Asians built the railroads. Of course, the Irish helped build major cities: San Francisco, Boston, New York, Philadelphia. Come on, man. This is fact.
So another point that when you said, you know, even if someone was like, okay, we own a plantation, and we own slaves, okay, but I ain't a racist. I'm just, this is how we make, this is how my family make money. You saying even if they actually believe that shit, they're still perpetuating the racial caste system of here we are as actual free men, and then those obvious humans,
obvious humans
are slaves. They're less than I am, but I don't look at it in a sense of they're beneath me because I hate them because of what they are. they're beneath me because they are slaves.
No, correct.
Right. And so, so you see what I'm saying? See like that little, like the nuances in the language?
Correct.
Right? How
see, but that's what they would use to save face.
Right.
But
exactly.
the truth is,
so that's what I'm saying. So you're saying that the critical race theory is even that mindset.
Yep.
Because you are, again, indirectly perpetuating
correct
the racial caste system, then you've perpetuated the
because let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way, right? So let's say, hey, Mr. Slave Owner, I'm going to take every piece of resource that you have had over the black man away from you right now, simply because they're slaves, and then I'm going to take it away from you, generate it some other way. Well, how am I supposed to do that? And I need slaves to go to the tobacco fields and pull. So your ability to buy 3 or 4 more plantations to become an economic powerhouse in the South is taken away once the resource that is, again, being held against its will is taken away from you. Correct. Okay, good. Well, niggas are supposed to pick cotton because that's what they're supposed. Oh, I get it. So you see them as lesser beings simply because of race, and race put them there. So now you're part of the economic mechanism because of race. You're not there because you want to just be
because you're saying that's what those slaves are supposed to do.
Correct.
Because that's what they're supposed to do.
That's what they're supposed exactly.
So they aren't human in the sense of they can own shit like you and like you and I.
Yeah.
But they're there to work. And not only work and not get paid for it, but work for free because they're enslaved.
That's right.
Okay, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
So the next point I was gonna say I want to push back on a little bit is not to disagree with you, but to give some game.
Yeah, that's
the whitewashing thing. The term whitewashing is a more liberal term to make that shit seem like aggressive, like they whitewashing it because that whole term whitewashing, right?
Okay.
So they want to make it seem like, and this is what the left does. You know what I'm saying? The right will do something opposite. This is what the left does. The left always puts white in there. They want to throw that shit in your face to make it look like the white is the bad guy. But I disagree with the fact that they're trying to whitewash everything. Something more insidious. Like I said, in the new Jim Crow, it's not even about white and black. They're trying to get rid of all that shit together.
Yeah,
they don't even want to. The powers that be don't even want to call it whitewashing. They don't even want to say it's really whitewashing because they're not actually. They don't want to put a color on it. They just want to be like kumbaya. There was no white and black, or white and brown, or black and brown. It was just Americans. We're all Americans. You know what I'm saying? Point blank and period. I don't see color. That is the most disingenuous thing they can say about anything that involves race, especially when it comes to critical race theory.
And that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Not this whitewashing shit. It is the fact that motherfuckers be like, no, I'm colorblind. I don't see color.
The term is colorblind. Yeah.
Shit. Yes, you do. And you should. That's not the problem. Yeah. The problem is not seeing color. The problem is looking at that and then being like, okay, you belong here.
Yes, it's the actions and treatments after.
So I want to push back. I was gonna say I want to push back a little bit, not on what you're saying, but on the term whitewashing, because that it makes it, because again, it's for our ears. When I say ours, I mean black people. Yeah, their ears to make it sound. It's a trigger word. Yeah, it kind of
weaponizes white. Yeah, white people's.
It's weaponizing their skin color. You know what I'm saying? To be like, oh, that's a weapon. Like, I want to fight back against that weapon. Gotcha. It's what they do to us, right?
That's true.
It's criminalizing their skin without them doing any criminal activity. Okay. Like they do with us.
Okay. Now listen, where they say that's wonderful on that term. I appreciate that. That's enlightening.
So I want to make sure niggas understand that term is being used to weaponize motherfuckers' whiteness. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? And make us think they're using their whiteness against us, when it's like, truth of the matter is they really want to get rid of all of that shit, all those terms all together, and be like, we're all American. Fuck white, black, brown, you know what I'm saying, yellow, purple, whatever you are. They want to get rid of all of that shit together. And that's the real issue, because once you get rid of all of that shit, then they can still look at us like we're the criminals, but because I don't see color,
That's right.
I'm simply saying that motherfucker's a criminal, and you know it's not racist because I already told you I don't see color.
I don't see color.
That is the true insidious nature of the I don't see color shit. I'm letting y'all know right now. So once you start throwing terms out like whitewashing, this motherfucker blackballing me, like shit like that, that makes you, that's weaponizing some shit. That's using shit as a weapon. So I when you hear the term whitewashing, that's why I don't get triggered by it, but I hear that shit and say, okay, that's a tactic right there. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's all I'm saying.
Listen, and we appreciate you enlightening us with that. You know what I'm saying? I was just reading from this article. I got you. From educationweekly.org.
Oh, okay, sounds like some liberal shit.
Yeah, definitely does.
Sounds like some liberal shit.
So anyway, what critical race theory does at its core is it basically matches the factual evidence that scholars have collected over the years to how race has played a major role in how this country has been conducted, right? From the very inception till now, right? So a good example of what critical race theory would like to talk about is why and how it was done on major level, on every level, how racism played a role in the building of America, right? So a good example would be like in the 1930s, government officials literally drew lines around areas they deemed poor financial risk, often explicitly due to the racial composition of its inhabitants, right? So banks subsequently refused to offer mortgages to black people or people of color in these areas. This is the base definition of what's known as redlining, right, ladies and gentlemen? So that made it, if you section off a group of people, ergo the ghetto, the poor, the hood, things of that nature, they can't move into Brentwood. Brentwood's property value now shoots up. It now has a higher cost of living. It now has all of these other economic opportunities. It now has it's good to use certain sort of people. It's not overly policed. It's not this, and this, right? So from basis of race, they were able to affect the places where you lived, the price of where you lived, the resources that area got, the education that area got, that policing that area got. That's all based from one thing, and that's simply your race.
So let me. So now I want to attack the right side of the aisle, the conservative motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Because so far it sounds like, oh, this nigga Jay a coon ass nigga. He said don't use the term whitewashing. No, I'm just letting you know that the liberal motherfuckers are weaponizing shit too to fight against you, black man, black woman. I'm letting you know that. You think Obama, Biden, Harris, all these motherfuckers on the left are the Democrats are your friends and your allies. They are not. They are playing the game the same way
everybody else
fucking conservatives are playing the game, and they're playing it to fuck you over. But let me put my foot in the conservative ass right now. So for all the motherfucking conservatives who think, well, you know, that shit happened a long time ago, let that shit go, or that it didn't happen that way, and that's a liberal talking point and they lying to you. Listen. Just look at it. Let's use our common sense. Where's all the white people in the ghetto? not even that. Yeah. Not even that. Because then motherfuckers be like, well, white people. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
When did the white people move out of the ghetto?
Talk to them.
You know what? Let's not even do that.
Talk to them.
All the black people that live in the ghetto right now, how many generations of their families lived in that same ghetto?
Talk to them. Come on, man. They ain't ready. And you know what?
I'm asking you questions
that you real
to get you to think about shit. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Because what Lil Bro just said was that's the more political, straightforward textbook way. This is red line. This is the definition of red line. I'm asking you now questions to get your brain actually going. Where are all the white people in the ghetto? Where are all the poor white people in the ghetto?
Yep.
Most poor white people don't live in ghettos.
That's right.
Because most of the poor white people live in or around the middle class areas, because that's where they have at least enough money to live in that area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real poor white people live in ghettos.
Even the trailer parks are on the outskirts of town.
Like real,
you know what I'm saying?
Poor
even the
white
trailer
people,
parks.
Real poor white people who live in like trailer parks and shit like that. they don't live near ghettos.
Yeah, they don't live downtown Center City.
The hood.
Yeah.
Like they don't live near that shit.
Yeah.
Like the hood where all like the like where statistically the most violent crimes happen.
Correct.
Not the most crime because people, again, that's why I'm saying it this way. People think the most crime happens in the ghetto. No, the most violent crimes happen in the ghetto. The most crimes happen in suburbia.
Yep.
Factual stats. You can look this shit up.
Yeah.
Most crimes happen in the suburbs. Most violent crimes happen in the ghetto. So where's all the white people in the ghetto? That's why I said don't even answer that. Again, when did the white people move out of the ghetto? You can't answer that because they never lived in the fucking ghetto, which would get your mind thinking like, well, damn, why has there never been really statistically? There's never really been a large amount of the white population that lived in the ghetto. Okay, you don't want to answer that. Maybe too much information. Okay, you don't know anybody black, or maybe you do, or maybe you like, you know what? Let me look this shit up.
Yeah.
Go ask a black person who lives in the ghetto how long their family has again. So going back to mother, grandmother, great grandmother, how long their family has actually lived in that ghetto.
Yeah, man, it's generational. It's generational.
The first thing you'll say is, well, why couldn't they build themselves out of that ghetto?
They don't have the education because you stopped the educational funding. They don't have the resources because they can't get good paying jobs like the white people get.
And the reason why they don't have those resources, education, good jobs, is because of redlining. Because what happens is, first of all, America, the population, the entire population, 15% of it is African American. Only 15%.
Yeah, so we're still the minority, not the majority.
If there's more white people and you segregate the communities via redlining, that means the black community, by sheer numbers, will have less people in it than the white community.
Yeah.
So the more, and they did this specifically to give those communities less resources and to give the other communities more resources. And not only that, that's the secondary reason.
Yeah.
And that's because, and the main reason is because of political power. If you segregate the communities via redlining, they knew the black people would vote a certain way, and middle America, white middle America would vote another way, right? So if you could get the majority of them here, they might ask for some shit like better education, and because it's a majority of them, you need to get that to them, right?
Yeah.
So you keep the vote, so you keep the political,
power going. Yeah.
So you keep the political power.
So we can write the laws, whether racial or not, that give us the advantage.
Right.
Simple.
And again, like I said before, I don't see color.
Yeah.
That once you take race out of everything, which is what they've been doing for the last 60 years, is removing race from laws and shit, removing the explicit language of race.
Explicit language of race.
From the laws.
From the laws.
There was explicit language.
Oh yeah. They would say
laws.
Negro.
They removed that. So now they be like,
Negro.
listen, we just talking about this element, the criminal element. You get what I'm saying now? So that type of shit leads to, okay, the ghetto doesn't get any resources. The ghetto doesn't get any educational resources, doesn't get any political resources, doesn't get any jobs, doesn't get any of this shit. So the ghetto stays the ghetto. And then you wonder why niggas can't get out of the ghetto. Is that they don't have the resources. The other places do have resources. And the argument that the right will give is you got to pick yourself up by the bootstraps. If you don't have boots, how do you pick yourself up with your bootstraps?
Exactly. We can't even we don't even have access to get boots. And that's the crazy thing that the critical race theory challenges too, is it challenges the ideal of the American dream. And it has crashed a few front windows of a lot of politicians, because a lot of politicians, obviously with the stupid ass rhetoric, continue to believe that anybody can do anything in this country from nothing to something. It's harder to do it when you got a cage and and you got blinders on.
How about this right here? It isn't, at least it's not a feasible thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not,
yeah.
Why you shouldn't have to, right?
Yeah.
That's the real point. Like,
especially if you're an American.
Yes.
Especially if you're born on this soil.
We are perfect examples of nothing to something.
That's true. That's true.
Right?
That's true.
I mean, and when I say we came from nothing, nigga, no lights, no heat, no central air.
Yeah.
No hot water, no none of that shit, no food.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
He ain't lying.
No healthcare, none. Like when you talking about poor, we're talking about we were at points we were living third world country poor.
Yeah. It was abject poverty. It was like crushing poverty.
Nothing.
Yeah.
To where we are now, where we own businesses and, you know, multiple cars and all this shit. We could sit here, you know what I'm saying, do a podcast every day.
Yeah.
Like, and we can buy the equipment and we own all the equipment and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
we have the freedom. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got it. Here's the issue. It shouldn't have been like that.
Shouldn't have been that hard.
I should not have had to come from absolute nothing to get here. That's and I was born 1985. It should not have got to that. I should not have gotten to that point. Now again, a lot of that blame does go to my parents. What I'm saying is, in a situation where the government has the resources to give assistance to families, we should not have been on our fucking own. In a system where the government can give a billionaire
$10 billion more than what he already has.
On top of the $200 billion that he already has, and that's cool. But you can't give that $10 billion
to the people,
the ghetto, to the people of the country. That's the type of hypocrisy I'm talking about. Where niggas be like, pull yourself up by your bootstrap. It's like, that's not right.
Yeah, and like I said, and this is a conversation that people of color, brown people, whoever, have been talking about we knew about this for years because we live it, y'all. It's not like, it's not like, oh, this is something that's brand spanking new. Right. And a lot of the politicians are saying that this is divisive. It creates hate speech. It doesn't. What it does is it puts the factual reality that race controlled the country for so many years till now. Right. You know what I'm saying? So what they're doing now is they're actually creating laws to stop critical race theory to even being spoken about. They don't even want you thinking about it. They're
trying to make it illegal to talk about this shit.
3 states
and universities
already. 3 states have already passed legislation to ban this, and there are literally 16 more that are on a docket.
Now, when you say pass, is it just one side of the house passing it?
No, it says they have banned critical race theory education altogether. So in these 3 states, you can't even. Let me check it out real quick. It just says it right here. Let me check it out. But in these 3 states, you cannot talk about critical race theory at all. Like, they don't want it taught
in universities, right? Be specific, because it's not that you can't talk about it. Period. You can't talk about it in certain universities and schools, right?
It actually says it's not saying, it's not specifically.
So what's the source?
This source is USA Today. So this is not specifically talking about. It is saying this one is about how the effect of critical race theory is attacking this young lady, and I want to talk about that. That was the next topic, but this one, it says 3 states. So let's Google that real quick. Let's see which 3 states ban critical race.
Because one, I want to make sure that people have the proper context of what's going on. Because if they're just saying, hey, we don't want you to talk about critical race theory, that in itself is attacking the First Amendment. Right? They're not saying this is what it is. The literal term is critical race theory.
Yeah. So
it's not factual. It could be based off of factual evidence, but it's not something that's the law. It's a theory. It'd be the same thing with religion. Religion is based on theology. It's based on an ideal, a system of set ideals and morals and other type of shit. That's not written in law. There's no religion that's written in law. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the lawful religion. So
of course it's us. Of course it's us. Huh? Of course it's us. It's Florida, Arkansas, Idaho, and Oklahoma. Florida just did that 2 weeks ago.
All right.
So it says in all public institutions, the ideal of critical race theory will now be banned, which examines the way race and racism intersects with politics, culture, and law.
So public institutions basically mean school. You can't teach in the school.
Can't teach in
school.
That's
what I'm saying. So you and I can still talk about it on our platforms, in our public institution. You can go to any restaurant and talk about this shit. You can do whatever you want to. I'm saying the people who work at the public institutions, right? Again, schools, libraries, shit like that. You can't talk about this shit. They can't push this shit.
Yeah, they can't teach it to you.
Yeah.
You can't have someone be a docent and teach it to you. You see what I'm saying? So,
And that's
but
wild.
it still exists. Yeah,
That's wild.
So listen, it says it bans the teaching of critical race theory, which the legislation describes as the theory that racism is not merely the product of prejudice, but that racism is embedded in American society and its legal system in order to uphold the supremacy of white people or white persons. Huh?
Right. So read that one more time. I'm gonna break it down.
It says the legislation, the reason they banned it is because the legislation, the countersuit to it says that the theory that racism is not merely the product of prejudice, but that racism is embedded in American society and its legal system in order to uphold the supremacy of white persons.
Okay, so the last part, I understand why that's in there.
I got you.
Because it's because they're saying it
can't be specifically white people. It's people of power or people in position of power.
It's not there to uphold the supremacy of white people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think white people are the supreme race. So me personally, this white supremacy shit was really only with Adolf Hitler. He was the only motherfucker on the planet that was like, this is the supreme race of people. Yeah. Blonde hair, blue eyes, white skinned motherfuckers. Those motherfuckers. Listen, he said them. He was a black haired, brown eyed motherfucker. He wasn't even a blonde hair, blue eyed person. He was just saying that is the supreme race of people, and anyone below that, anyone who is not that, is a inferior human being. Racism is not the same thing as white supremacy.
That's right.
Racism is just the hatred a motherfucker has towards someone because of what they are. That's a whole different mindset. He's saying, this is what Adolf was saying. That motherfucker right there, blonde hair, blue eyed, white person
is the best of the best, and the only thing that should be alive.
Image of God.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that should be alive.
And that's not alive, but that's the only thing that should be revered as human.
Okay, because
that is the image of God. That is the true image of what was supposed to be, and everything else under that is a subclass. And then as it gets, starts to break down more, this white person, these motherfuckers, these group of motherfuckers, these Jewish motherfuckers are animals.
It's just too complex.
The niggas are animals. You see what I'm saying? So that's where his shit is different from this one, because a racist motherfucker just to hate. He's not saying I'm superior. That motherfucker saying I hate you because you a nigga. Because niggas this, nigga that, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you niggas are, you know what I'm saying? They're these porch monkeys, da. Motherfucker not saying I'm superior. He just said I hate niggas. That stems from ignorance and, like I said, like prejudice. Yeah. Because prejudice is prejudging. So it does come from a place of prejudgment. Racism comes from a place of prejudgment. And then it turns into a hatred. Yeah. White supremacy stems from a racist point of view that is then blown completely out of proportion into the realm of insanity. Yeah. So racism is not insane in its intent, because it's just saying its intent is hatred. You know what I'm saying? If it's love, it's hate, right? So that's just that. If you believe in yin and yang, that's just a duality thing. Yeah. You can't have love without hate. And you can't have hate without love. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have the counterbalance, right? White supremacy is just fucking insane, because there's no counterbalance to white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? So if it's white supremacy, then it was what's the counterbalance to that? Nothing supremacy? You know what I'm saying? Like
I got you.
White supremacy is the rhetoric of a clinically insane person. You understand what I'm saying? That's what white supremacy is. The term white supremacy wasn't even around before Adolf Hitler. They never used that shit back in slavery. Oh, this is white supremacy. It only happened after Adolf Hitler was like, this is what this is. The Ku Klux Klan, like when they became, this is why propaganda is so powerful, because when the shit is adopted, you know what I'm saying? This is what we did. Yeah. We if you don't know American propaganda, it is a upgraded version of the 1930s, 1940s German propaganda. Straight if you just look at it, go up and down what it is, it's literally the same thing, just a better version of it. This is where they take out the color shit.
The color blindness. Yeah.
This is where the color blindness shit comes from.
We're in the age of colorblind now. Yeah.
That's why they take all that shit out. But propaganda, the German propaganda machine was the one that was like, because again, Germany is not its population wise is not that big of a place. Landmass wise is not that big of a place. But how come they almost took over the fucking world? Propaganda.
That's right.
Propaganda is one of the fucking your voice. The spoken word is one of the most powerful forms of
persuasion.
No, just one of the most powerful forms of energy in the universe.
That's true. That is true.
Spoken word. Just speaking. You know, in religions they say you speak shit into life.
Existence. Yeah, that's right.
In the Bible,
that's the reason why it's called a curse word.
Yeah, in the Bible it says, "You hold it true on earth, I hold it true in heaven." The spoken word is one of the most powerful energies in the entire fucking universe. So you don't think propaganda is powerful?
That's right.
We took their propaganda machine and just reinforced it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all we did. So white supremacy is something that is not 200 years old. The term white supremacy, I promise you, is not 200 years old. They weren't using white supremacy during slavery. They weren't using white supremacy during the transatlantic slave trade. So I just wanted to make sure, again, that's why it's certain things you like, okay, that's, when you hear shit like that, it will trigger niggas. I promise you it will. And the reason why it will trigger niggas is because the left, the Democrats, the liberals have put it in, have their rhetoric has said that shit repeatedly so much that it triggers you now. You gotta be smarter than the rhetoric. That's the whole point of this shit. That's the whole point of why we doing this shit.
Yeah.
To think outside, to think above the rhetoric, the propaganda. So, but the other parts, are is completely is stupid. Of course. So the first part, read the first part again.
It says that racism is embedded in the American society.
Say, cause we don't want them to think that because racism is a product of prejudice.
It's a product of individual prejudice, and that the government never ever participated in racism, and it never was embedded in American society. You ready for this? 3/5 compromise, 13th Amendment, Dred Scott case. What's the one? Ruby Bridges. Ruby Bridges was less than 100 years ago. And Arkansas had the nuts to say we're not going to accept this in our schools. Y'all were the first ones to integrate.
The Tuskegee experiment, COINTELPRO.
Come on. Shall we continue?
There's racist. Listen, they're right. Racism stems from a place of prejudice that's unchecked.
Yeah.
If prejudice is unchecked, it turns into hatred. Then that's racism. Right?
Yep.
Because we all prejudge motherfuckers.
Yeah, we all do that.
They say don't read a book by its cover. Yeah. All of us do that shit. That's prejudging. That's a form of prejudice.
But a
very non-aggressive form of prejudice. But if you look at a motherfucker, you look at a nigga how he dress. Oh shit, that
nigga ain't worth shit. Yeah,
pants sagging. This is how white people. Oh my God, Jenny, his pants are sagging. Motherfucker might be, he might be a good nigga just because his pants saggy.
You know what? It's not even from that, because you know what? I swear to God, it's right hand of God. I've had 2 instances when I lived in Georgia where I was literally dressed professionally, and one dude asked me where he could find weed and where he could find coke.
I'm just saying.
I'm not kidding you. I'm like, yo.
So there's forms of prejudice. There's all types of forms of prejudice. You know what I'm saying? They're not all aggressive forms of prejudice.
Correct. You're right.
The aggressive forms of prejudice we see back in the day is like, I bet that black man rapes white women.
Oh yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I bet because he's black. That's a form of
birth of
aggressive prejudice.
Reefer madness.
And if you don't check those types of aggressive prejudice,
they will spin out of control.
They will turn into hatred.
Yep.
Which is the start of racism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got that. The fact that these motherfuckers saying that America, the system, the social experiment of America never dabbled in prejudice
ever.
That then turned into racism.
Never.
It's complete and utter bullshit. It's factually incorrect. That's the problem I have with the first part. It's like, bro, like you realize you made slaves build the White House, right? That's not a form of prejudice. Like no white. Like there was no like, or they would be like, yeah, it was some white people that helped, it was some Asian people that helped too. Those people got paid though. In some way, shape, or form, food, or there was some compensation on why they were there, right? I help you build this part of the house, you give me this. Slaves had no fucking choice, other than die, than fucking build the house. It was either build this house because I'm master and I say so, or die.
Yeah.
Or maybe get your fucking kid sold or some shit like that. That's not those. I mean, and again, to be fair to motherfuckers who think like Kanye, when he said that we should have all just rolled and died on some Nat Turner shit. Yes, that's a choice, and they could have chose that. I'm not one of them motherfuckers that's like Kanye was all the way wrong and he should have never said it. No, there is an argument to be made. For example, Killmonger from Black Panther. Yeah. That nigga said, man, you can save me. That nigga said, nah, just throw me in a motherfucking river or throw me in the ocean with the rest of my ancestors because they knew that death was better than bondage. And so our ancestors could have made that choice. Fuck it. We just going to kill me, nigga. I'm not going to whatever fucking slave camp or plantation or whatever. I'm not going to sit here and change, nigga. Kill me now. But then me and this nigga wouldn't be here.
That's true.
So some people live through the fear, through the atrocities, through the terror, through the horror that was the transatlantic slave trade and then American slavery. Our ancestors lived through that, so we can be here talking to y'all today.
Absolutely.
Because to them, maybe death wasn't an option. It is. So we're not gonna sit here and say Kanye all the way wrong, but the context of what he was saying was wrong is because at that point it's like, do you sacrifice your children because you don't want to live like this, or maybe you don't want them to live like this? But it's like life is precious, so you know what I mean. So it's like, do you extinguish the flame of their life? Because they got thousands of you, motherfuckers, hundreds of, at one point millions of y'all. Do y'all all now die? So that's basically wiping out a good portion
of the culture. That's taking the culture out.
Entire culture.
That's taking the whole culture out. I understand that part. Yeah.
So there's no. So
yeah. What
he's saying wasn't incorrect in a sense of like people was like it wasn't no choice. Their choices.
Yeah.
But contextually,
thank you.
Was it an actual choice? Was it a feasible choice?
There you go.
Was it the correct choice?
Exactly.
For the future.
For the culture.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Was it the correct choice? So, to the first part of this shit, come on, bro. Like, are y'all for real? Stop playing games, man. Y'all niggas know.
Yeah.
This, come on, man. Again, at this point, we just talking facts.
Yeah. That's it.
I mean, Jim Crow,
I named
civil rights.
The black. There were literally
black water fountains.
Listen, there were literally laws called the Black Codes that every southern state had to abide by. It was literally called the Black Codes.
There was a whites only portion of the restaurant. How is that not based off of race?
And they say,
I don't understand this shit.
And our stupid ass governor here in the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, I understand the last part of it to be like, because the country is based on white supremacy. No, it's not. This country is not based in white supremacy. The term didn't even exist back then. When they came over here and raped and pillaged the Indians. The term never existed then. It never fucking existed.
Yeah.
Yes, this country is not built off of white supremacy.
No, it's not.
It is built off of racism and prejudice.
That's right.
That is exactly what this shit is built off of. Again, not even 100 years ago. We're talking 70 years ago.
Absolutely.
There was portions of a restaurant that we, as black people, could not enter because it was for white people.
Couldn't even use the same bathrooms.
Is racism. And I don't know how else you can say this right here is
separate but equal clause. I didn't even talk about that. Come on, man. These are factual laws, y'all.
This
3/5 compromise,
right here,
the 13th Amendment,
the
Missouri compromise. Come on, man.
In the same building.
Come on.
So whoever the janitor is has to make sure that the white only water fountain is clean, it's pristine, it looks nice.
Yep.
And the nigga fountain, well,
that's good enough for them.
I know some calcium building around that motherfucker, but don't worry about that shit.
Don't worry about that. Yep. Somebody spit in it, but you know.
It'll be like, well, y'all niggas making that shit up. Bro, it's pictures.
Yeah.
It's video. Again, it's not 1820 where ain't no fucking video.
No.
Like, there was video back in 1950.
Yeah.
It was video.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's pictures, cameras back then.
Yeah.
And you could see what a whites only water fountain looked like and what a black only water fountain looked like. And it was like, well, that's because black people, you don't like to take care of that shit. And that ain't no prejudice at all. There's nothing prejudice about that at all. Nothing prejudice about what you just said.
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me ask you a question. You know what? That's really a good answer. That's really a good question. Did they have like a white janitor and a black janitor, and the black janitor cleaned the black bathroom, and the white janitor was only allowed to clean the white bathroom?
How did like so are you saying white people know how to clean better than black people? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing prejudice about that statement either, right?
Yeah, just come on, man.
That's the shit I'm talking. And that's why I said I'm putting my foot up the conservative, the right side of the aisle's ass right now, because it's like, bro, it's just some shit that is really common sense, but because y'all are so stuck on the rhetoric and this, here's the side that I'm on, and I'm just gonna go with the rhetoric. It's like, bro, the conservative problem is common sense shit. Yeah. That's the conservative problem. And that's why the liberals be getting at y'all sometimes, because the liberals can make chance. Like, again, the liberals could come up with a slogan, Black Lives Matter. And you fucking conservatives would be like, Blue Lives Matter. It's like, why? Do Black Lives not matter? Or all lives matter? That's the point of Black Lives Matter. That's how fucking retarded y'all are on the right. That's the point. That's what Black Lives Matter is saying.
We matter too.
And niggas have said that to y'all.
Yeah,
and y'all still like, no, because it says Black Lives Matter. That's not the sentiment. Yes. That's not the context of what Black Lives Matter is saying. And then they start doing this stupid shit. Well, that organization is Black Lives Matter and they're fucked up, so Black Lives Matter, the sentiment is fucked up. No, the organization is fucked up, which I've always said, don't trust the motherfuckers over there. Don't trust them new niggas over there.
Don't trust them new niggas over there.
Them niggas, because you can see clearly the motherfuckers who were in Black Lives Matter and the organization, once they got money, they're up out the hood. Yeah. They don't want to be around niggas. Yeah. My point is the sentiment of a black life mattering and being on the as equal to any other life.
Yep. In the eyes of the law, the justice system, or whatever.
In the eyes of society, period.
Exactly.
In the eyes of the human race, period.
That is what we're going for.
Your life and my life are equal. Yeah. There's nothing.
No difference.
There's nothing.
I am human.
That makes your life worth more
than mine.
Now, you may be worth more than mine on a financial basis according to our society that we live in, right? You may be worth $1 million and I may be worth, $95,000. Yeah. Your financial worth is more than mine, but your life is not. Just you breathing, being able to wake up and walk the earth and do what you do on a daily basis, that's not, your life is not more important than mine. That's all Black Lives Matter. The sentiment, not the organization. I gotta keep separating that for the conservative motherfuckers, because they keep thinking outside of that shit. The sentiment is your and my life is the same. Ready? Yeah. Black Lives Matter and all lives matter is the same goddamn thing. So it's okay for you to say Black Lives Matter, because when you say that, you are saying all lives matter. So the fact that you came up with the slogan all lives matter is a fucking is repetitive. It's an oxymoron. That's what we're trying to tell you. When we say the sentiment, fuck the organization Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Them niggas can go eat dicks. We're talking about the sentiment of the term Black Lives Matter. My life being equal to yours. And that's the real issue with the conservative party. You motherfuckers are goofy and retarded. It don't make sense how retarded y'all are. That's why the liberals be kicking y'all ass. Because, I mean, in a sense of social shit, you know what I'm saying? Politically, y'all beating the dog shit out of liberals. But socially, They beat the shit out y'all because y'all don't understand marketing. None of you fucks do. That's, you realize that's all marketing they're doing, right?
Yeah.
And they fucking y'all up because y'all dumbasses keep falling for the traps. So stupid shit like all lives matter and blue lives matter. A blue life is, what the fuck is a blue life? We're talking humans. Blue lives matter. Ain't no blue motherfuckers here. Well, blue being for the cops, Jesus Christ. You know it's black cops, right? You realize it's black cops, right?
All that shit don't matter.
No, that's a blue life. No, that's a black life.
That's a nope.
Who wears a uniform?
Nope. No.
No, that's a blue life.
When he took this job,
his life went from black to blue. You're fucking stupid, and you don't even realize how fucking stupid you are.
When he took this job, so when you go work at Walmart, you become a blue and yellow life. That's it.
I don't get it. When you go to Target, you're red and white.
You're red and white life. That's what's happening.
It doesn't
now.
make sense.
You're red and white life.
Again, that's why the liberals could come up with shit like this and just destroy y'all in the social sphere because y'all make no fucking sense. There's no common sense with the right.
No.
Now, the right can come up with arguments politically that you'll look at I look at the fucking Liberal Party and say, how you gonna challenge that? And then the Liberal Party be like, I'm fighting for the soul of America. See, that nigga trying to sell y'all some shit.
That's it.
Black people, that's
Don't
marketing
listen.
right
Don't
there.
listen to that
Don't
shit.
listen to that stupid
Don't
ass
fall
shit.
into that gap.
At least, even if it's
Don't
wrong,
listen
at
to that
least the
shit.
motherfuckers on the right talking about politics.
Yeah.
That stupid ass nigga Joe Biden talking about the soul of America. He don't even know what the fuck he talking about. And that's how they won.
That's how they get it.
Because y'all niggas don't understand common sense shit.
The emotionals. So listen. So
Go, my fault.
no, it's all right. No, listen, because all of this is what politicians and regular educators have been battling for the past couple of months, man. Actually, the major debate was when it first ratified. The first state to ratify it was May 3rd, and I think the state was
Arkansas.
It was.
How did I know that? How did I know that?
That motherfucker called that shit
How
right
did I know
out.
that? How did I know? I didn't read the fucking article. How did I know that? How did I know that?
Arkansas was the first state to do it on May 3rd, right? So let me tell you what our stupid ass governor in the state of Florida said about critical race theory. Here's what he said. Ron DeSantis said that he's going to ban critical race theory because he says that would teach kids that our country is inherently rotten and that our institutions are illegitimate.
The country is not inherently rotten. The ideologies behind it,
correct, and the practices up until now are
you
rotten.
Can change the country. You can change the way the country treats its people just as long as you change the idea, the theoretical system that is in place.
But listen to
this. All you have to do.
Listen to this hypocrisy, though, right? Listen to this hypocrisy.
Jesus Christ.
So
bro.
on the back end, the Florida rule that they just passed that will now make critical race theory illegal to be taught in public schools requires public institutions to now teach the Declaration of Independence and about the Holocaust. Are you fucking kidding me?
Bruh. This is, all right. Sit. Okay, hold on. Let me ready sit down, bro. Let me sit down, bro.
Yo, are you fucking kidding me,
down,
Florida?
Bro.
Florida's got it. Yo, this shit is
so it says you teach them about
the Declaration of Independence
and teach them about the Holocaust.
And about the Holocaust.
The Holocaust, which was completely and utterly
white
about
supremacist movement,
prejudice,
and supremacy.
racism, and white supremacy. All three of those things happened during the Holocaust.
Yep.
So it's okay to teach children about what happened with Jewish people.
Yep.
And the terrors that they went through when their people faced prejudice, racism, and white supremacy,
and flat out extinction.
But it is banned. To say this place, because again, you wouldn't be talking about America in that sense.
Oh no,
you'd be
never.
talking negatively about Germany, and how America came in and saved the Jewish people.
See, romanticized.
But what they won't tell you about the Holocaust and World War II is that we had Japanese internment camps here. If you, but let's slide past that. We can talk about the Holocaust portion of World War II because that makes America look great. But they won't talk about Japanese internment camps. That's another story though.
After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, the United States had Japanese American citizens rounded up and held against their will in internment camps as they were being interrogated to see if they were sympathizers with Japan. Let's talk about it.
This is why
let's talk about
the conservatives don't have more niggas on their side, because niggas will hear something and be like, oh, that actually didn't sound bad politically. Like that maybe actually that sound right. You know, let me listen to some more shit. Yeah, you know, when I go to Congress and I'm speaking on the fact that these government, the federal government is always in the states, you know, states business. That shouldn't be right. We shouldn't be taxed on the state of California or the state or whatever shouldn't be taxed more because we have free marijuana. That's like, yeah, goddamn, you right about that.
You goddamn right.
Yeah, and also we shouldn't be talking about slavery anymore because you know that shit never really happened. That's why I don't fuck with. That's exactly why I don't fuck with y'all. That's exactly why you had me at the shit about the free weed and you know what I'm saying, and why the government taxing us more because then we all got to pay more taxes because of the free weed. But once you start talking about the slavery shit and how that shit never happened, that's why we don't fuck with y'all because y'all say stupid shit like that and it don't make no goddamn sense. Why are you doing that? Why would you do that? Stop it, people. Stop. Ron DeSantis, listen to what I'm saying to you. How does it make sense for niggas to talk about the Holocaust but not slavery? How does that make sense? I don't want the kids to make it seem like America's a bad place. It's not. The system that governs America is the bad part of it, is the part that needs to be changed, is the part that needs to be restructured from the bottom up. Because the system that they put in place was the thing that perpetuated prejudice and racism, not the actual idea of what America can be. Yep. Do you understand what we're trying to say now?
That's right.
The ideal of what America can be sounds like some good shit. The system in place that governs over the ideal of what America is in our society, what America is currently, that part is the part that's fucked up. And it's not because that can't be changed. It's because it can be. Yeah. It's because the people who put it in place were fucked up. But if you put people in place that are fucked up and they go in and amend shit because you can, then this place might get to the point where kids don't need to be told this ain't fucked up. And they can be like, hey, this place ain't half bad.
It ain't half bad. Or we have a fighting chance to be great in this country. You see what I'm saying? Come on, man.
That's the problem. What you want niggas to do is just to be like, hey, this place is great, even though there's a lot of things wrong with it. Structurally, the processes is fucked up. The way they govern this place is fucked up
because it's based off
money. But don't worry about that. It's great for you, even though it's not great for you. Like that. How the fuck do you get to that point? But hey, the kids really need to read the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
But ain't y'all the same niggas that signed off on Juneteenth? So let me get this straight. It's okay for Juneteenth to be a fucking federal holiday now.
So we can now celebrate the end of slavery.
But niggas can't talk about, God damn it.
See what I'm saying? Empty victories.
Listen what I'm saying to y'all.
Empty victories, man.
To all the conservative people who may watch this show. Because we don't always go hard on conservatives. Because again, the libs are fucked up too.
Yeah, we know.
To all the conservative niggas who listen to this show, listen to what I'm saying to y'all. Does that make sense? How does that? And again, it wasn't just like all liberal politicians, all the Democrats signed off on June 15th, and it was so. No, it was some Republicans who signed off on that shit too.
Absolutely.
It was some conservative motherfuckers who signed off on Juneteenth becoming the federal holiday. Who was like, yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
I agree with that. How does that make sense?
But now you can't talk about it?
How does Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday make sense, but then you can't talk about slavery?
No.
And you can't talk about how slavery affected the country then and now, how it's still in minor ways, obviously, not fucking like super serious ways, but in minor ways still affects the country. How Jim Crow affects the country still, even though, you know, each racial caste system, slavery was a racial caste system. Jim Crow was a racial caste system. Now, you know what I'm saying? The prison population is a racial caste system. The criminal justice system is a racial caste system. How can you say that those things don't affect the way the country is governed? Slavery affected the way the country was governed. Jim Crow affected the way the country was governed. The criminal justice system, how it's set up now, the war on drugs, all that shit affects the way the country is governed now. How can you sit here and say that that doesn't play a part on how the country socially works now?
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Again, these motherfuckers, because what they're trying to do is say the ideal of America isn't racist. No one's saying that. No. Motherfuckers are saying the way the country is governed deals in prejudice and racism. Yeah. And the fact that they're trying to take out, well, I don't look at you as black, or that's a form of trying to not what he said white, because that's not the true thing is not whitewashing it. It's color blinding it. Because then you don't look at me like, oh, that's a black person, and then you could take all the other shit. Once you stop looking at me like a black person, you take out the slavery shit. Oh, you're not black, you know what I'm saying? Because the black people went through slavery, but you're not black.
You're not black.
You're American.
You're just American. Simple as that.
That's all it is.
Yeah. So whatever I say to you from this moment on is not because of racism. It's just because I don't like you as another American.
It's devoid of all of that shit because once you look at me as black, then you have to put it in context, and that's okay. His ancestry went through this shit, and this is the civil rights movement, and this is Jim Crow, and this is the war on drugs, and this is poverty, and this is da. And then it you know what I'm saying? That all of that shit has to happen. It's like, yes, I went through poverty, my nigga. I used to live in Savannah, Georgia, so I've seen white people. I've heard white people, use the N-word towards me and other motherfucking black people. I lived in Philadelphia, where I've heard white people use the word nigga to me and other black people. It ain't just the South. To be real with you, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not just the South, that shit happens in Philadelphia too. The Italian motherfuckers in Philadelphia can be some of the most racist motherfuckers on the planet. South Philly is not a very welcoming place to the African American community. And that's facts. But this ideology of we don't want the kids to think this way, think this certain way because the kids, we don't want them to look at America fucked up. It's like, then stop fucking it up, politicians.
But like I said, especially for the kids, because it's so ingrained in American society, it's ingrained in our lives as well. We already knew it. You teach it to us. You teach us about Plessy versus Ferguson. You teach us about the Dred Scott case. You teach us about Ruby Bridges. Y'all teach us that these actions are happening based off of race alone. Right. You don't teach us anything else. You don't say this is happening because they're bad people. No.
How can you teach us about desegregation and how the schools were integrated in Alabama and shit in the 50s and then say, why did the schools have to be integrated in the first goddamn place?
Correct. And we're quoting Ron DeSantis, if the actions of your quote unquote institutions were legitimate from the beginning, there would be no HBCUs, there would be no NAACP, there would be no Freedmen's Bureau, there would be nothing that's specifically for black people because you would have included us into that. So on the flip side, like Jay just explained to you, there wouldn't be a Black Lives Matter if Black Lives mattered.
It doesn't.
The light bulb just went off, didn't it?
It doesn't make sense how we can have these y'all always push Martin Luther King in the civil rights movement. Why did you have to sign a bill to give us shit that should be inherent to every human being?
Because it was inherent
on the planet.
Because it was already inherent to another race of people living in the same country.
Right. So what it does is it takes out the context on why these things happened. Yeah. I just signed an Asian hate bill. Why did you have to sign that?
Because there were actions that were not socially acceptable against Asian folk.
And who was doing it? God damn it. Yeah. Americans were doing it, y'all.
See, y'all?
Come on.
Again,
please, man.
You have got to think.
But it's okay
think.
It's okay to create an Asian hate bill. But now we have to take away bills because y'all niggas don't want to talk about slavery and how that happened, how that started. Because there's they don't want to deal with the truth. I'm not one of those motherfuckers. Right.
That's the problem.
Not one of those
motherfuckers
that's
like the truth.
The social experiment of America is inherently racist. No. the people who governed over the social experiment of America were the prejudiced and racist motherfuckers.
And because
That's
of that,
it.
they wrote into laws that are still standing today.
How is that not
that are racist and prejudiced?
How is that not the truth, bro?
They may, like we said earlier in the podcast, they may have taken out the explicitly racist language, but the laws in itself and how the machine works is inherently racist.
Even a completely, for the right motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Even a completely bought and sold puppet like Candace Owens, who, for all intents and purposes, is not, you know, some of us be calling her completely stupid. She's not completely stupid. Obviously, she has some kind of education behind her. It's just she's just spit rhetoric and talking points. So so you can easily defeat her in a conversation because it has all no talking points.
Yeah, it has no substance.
When she's hitting the talking points about race and shit like this. Excuse me. Where she could say something like, she said. Because motherfuckers was like, Donald Trump is the most racist president in the history of the United States of America. And she got on Twitter and said, how the fuck can Donald Trump be more racist than a president who owned slaves? Andrew Jackson, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington.
She has a point.
Though, like, even sometimes
hit it with the radio.
When the right motherfuckers don't even understand what they're saying and don't even see, because they just like defending their people, the truth comes out.
Yeah,
she's right.
She's right.
Donald Trump could never be the most racist president in the history of the United States.
Correct.
There are presidents who literally owned human beings. By her saying that, though, she also just admitted to the fact that the motherfuckers back then who governed over the social experiment known as America,
correct,
were in fact racist because they owned human beings.
That's right.
So again, the idea of America where someone can come here and express their religion, live the way they want to live, without being hated on. That was the whole reason, right?
Or enslaved.
That was the whole reason, right?
The
whole reason
for America.
That's the whole. That's the ideology. That's the ideal.
Yeah.
That was the basis to start this social experiment.
You can escape any kind of persecution.
The people who governed over that destroyed the Native American community and population in this country.
Absolutely. 100%.
They enslaved Africans and brought them over here to simply build their financial wealth and build the country and got nothing in return for it. And not only got nothing in return for it, were subjugated and were less than human legally. Not like in my mind, I think this person is less. They were legally less than human. Again, the ideal of what this place was supposed to be or should be wasn't the racist thing, wasn't the prejudiced thing.
No.
The niggas governing over it. Those are the prejudiced motherfuckers. Those were the racist motherfuckers. And it just kept going. The same, because they built the system. So they kept adding on to the system.
Yeah, one Lego block at a time.
Okay, so slavery is done.
You feel me?
And again, like we said in the last episode, it was a war tactic, not like some fucking divine intervention or some
change your mind, change your heart,
epiphany. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, this is wrong. That wasn't what it was. Let's be honest with each other. That wasn't what it was. I'm glad that it didn't. I'm glad that it's over. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what the fuck it was. Stop playing with it. Let's just stop playing. Then Jim Crow comes into play, which is more racism. Like, listen, we get it, but y'all some second class motherfuckers. That's literally more racism and prejudice. You know what I'm saying? And then, even if you don't think this is racism, I don't understand how the fuck you don't think it's prejudice. What the fuck is segregation? Hey, look, I ain't saying you can't live, and I ain't saying you ain't human. But if you want to drink water, you drink that shit over there. How the fuck is that not prejudice? How, y'all? Please explain.
Or you can't use the same toilet as I use because your poop, your dookie.
Your dookie. Charlie Murphy said, why can't my turd flow next to your turd?
Because
like,
because black dookie you'll get diseases from black dookie and not white dookie.
Or maybe
that scene from The Help, the movie The Help, when what's not Octavia Spence? What was her name? What's
You mean
What's that?
Viola Davis?
Yeah, when Viola Davis used the old woman's house lavatory in the house, and she was like, "Well, you don't have her own bathroom." She was like, "No, she's fine." And in the next scene, she had her own bathroom on the back porch. She had a bathroom built just for her. I was like, "Yo, you got to be kidding me!" And because the lady, whoever came to the little bridge club meeting,
probably talked into it. You know what I'm saying?
She
Like,
did. That's exactly what
like,
she
listen,
said. She says, "Oh, my Negroes don't use the inside toilet." I was like, "Bitch, you got to be kidding me!" Yeah, she was like, "Because they carry disease." And she said it in front of Viola Davis, in front of that other woman, because they can carry all kind of diseases. Who knows what she brings back when she goes? And this is the sentence: back under the hill at night, because that's where they lived at. Come on, redlining and prejudice in the same sentence.
Now, obviously,
it was a movie.
I said movie,
obviously.
And they probably were over exaggerating. They probably were over exaggerating a little bit, but contextually, that's kind of the gist of what was happening.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because you would, if you thought I wasn't any different than you, why the fuck would I need to drink from a different water fountain? Why the fuck would I need to drink or take a shit in a different bathroom? Why the fuck would I need to eat in the back of the restaurant while you ate in the front of the restaurant? That doesn't make any fucking sense. And a lot of the restaurants, here's more context. Once you start reading books and understanding more, you get a better understanding of what's going on.
Yeah.
A lot of restaurant owners weren't even fucking like really like in there, like it wasn't based off of prejudice or racism. Well, it kind of based off more prejudice, but it wasn't as like the super aggressive forms of prejudice. You know what I'm saying? Which I know that motherfuckers like, what the fuck is an aggressive and a non-aggressive form of prejudice?
Yeah,
just let me
passive prejudice. Just
let me again. Don't read a book by its cover. That's passive prejudice. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Aggressive prejudice is,
flat out, I'm in your face with it.
Yeah, like what? Like when you just said that they got diseases. You don't want to shit where they shit and they got diseases.
That's aggressive prejudice.
So, the restaurant owners back in the 40s and 50s were like, listen, it's not that I particularly hate black people. No, you know what I'm saying? But the front of my restaurant, the storefront, is on the busy street. So if it looks clean and it's the white portion of the restaurant, people, it looks more inviting, looks more enjoying, it looks more welcoming. I can get more money that way. You get what I'm saying? If it's a whole bunch of niggas in the front of the restaurant, then people might not want to come eat here, and they might, you know what I'm saying? So they were conforming to society. Why did they have to conform to society? Because the people governing over the society, were the fucking prejudiced and racist pieces of shit.
I'm telling you, man.
So it's not the society in totality that's fucked up, but the people at so I agree to a certain extent with what these Republican senators and governors are talking about when they're like, we don't want the kids to think that the country is inherently racist and white and a white supremacist society. Again, the land belongs to no one. The land is not called, we already said that the land is not called America. It was here before America and it'll be here after America. So the land inherently isn't America. All right, so let's get that out the way. America is an ideal, a system, and a social experiment. Okay, that's all America is. It's in our heads. You get what I'm saying? It's in our heads, and people who had it in our heads for us was like, let's write it into laws that we all abide by, that we all agree to, that we all buy into. The second we say fuck it, then it's over. America's over. The second we all collectively say, nah, fuck this shit. That's the end of America. So it's all based in our head. All the laws are on paper. It's not like this shit is like if we stop it,
if we stop thinking about America,
down
we stop thinking about
the
America,
world's gonna
everybody
stop
dies.
spinning. No, that's not how that works. It's not going to work like that. It's all in our fucking heads. We all just buy into the ideology in our head. So it's the people who govern over it that fuck it up. Which again is probably our fault. Because we choose these pieces of shit to govern over it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we preach all the time on our show. Stop giving these people your fucking power.
Because they're not for you. First of all, DeSantis, your time is up, motherfucker. It's too many articles out here about how they ready to get you the fuck up out of here.
And that's not just the liberal people. That's not just
they
liberal
ready to get you
thinking
the fuck up out of here,
motherfuckers
brother.
who vote in Democrats.
Yeah.
I'm saying the conservative motherfuckers. Hey, everybody who has conservative values. These Republicans, these motherfuckers ain't for y'all.
No.
Listen to what I'm saying to y'all. A lot of the shit that y'all believe in, we as black people believe.
We do.
A lot of black people love church and love Jesus. That's what y'all very Christian oriented people.
Yep.
We get it.
Yeah,
a lot of black people like that.
Yeah, we want less
government. A lot of black people want less government. Obviously, the majority of us want less government. Trust me. Niggas want less government.
We want less
Niggas
government.
want a whole lot of less government.
A whole lot of less.
A whole lot of less government. Trust me on that one. A lot of niggas want to protect their families.
Correct.
A lot of niggas already keep the strap on them.
At all times.
All the time.
At all American Express.
You know what I'm saying? I never leave home without
Never
it.
leave home without
Call
it.
the Amex.
That's it. Call it Amex, baby.
So it's a lot of shit that you'd be surprised, conservative man or woman, that black people agree with you about.
Yeah, we share the same values.
It's how you disseminate that information.
Correct.
That is fucked up.
Yeah.
Because y'all will say some other shit in there that's like, that is craziness. For governors to be like, you can't talk about all the shit that happened in the past with this country, but it's okay to talk about the Holocaust. So it's like, how in the fuck?
Or the Declaration of Independence. Like, you pick and choose what, and again, and that's what we have all, and if you haven't known, this is, and again, it took me all the way until I got to college to have my epiphany, my waking moment, is that, you're teaching us only what you want us to know. And it's omitted information. It's not the full truth. And I know for a fact that, we understood racism, but in 8th grade, when you're learning about the Dred Scott case or Plessy versus Ferguson, you're not looking at, it's the laws that were written against him, and it's this part, and it's the everyday social interactions that he's having that are keeping him down. It's what he overcame, and then what he had to do socially to get back to buy his wife and his family. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think of the nuances of that case until you're older, until you have a full grasp and understanding of what's going on.
Right.
But that's the shit you teach us about, how race played a pivotal role in America and the laws that we're currently living by. But then you don't want people to talk about how those laws were written because of racism.
And that's why people push back on that shit.
I'm
because
confused.
It sounds nefarious.
Yeah.
You don't want people to understand the context on why you talk about shit like this.
Yeah, I'm confused.
So why don't you just take all of that shit out of school, period. Let's never talk about slavery again.
Yeah.
Let's never talk about Jim Crow again.
Yeah.
Let's never talk about civil rights again.
Yeah.
Let's just fuck history contextually.
Yeah, just fuck history
and just
contextually.
start at 1970.
Let's
just fuck,
because that's when black people truly started to live.
That's when America really was like, we're equal for everybody. Let's just fuck everything pre-1970.
That's crazy.
And just start from there.
That's
the
crazy.
last 50 years is what we really need to focus on.
Because that's when America was really great.
How do you put any context into what you teaching children? You're at that point, you lying to them.
Yeah.
It's listen, if again, the reason why they say shit like that is because and it's the politician again. Who asked to be like, hey, I don't want to talk about race no more, it's fucking us up? Why do you think race is fucking us up? If that's the case, then why do you do a Black History Month?
Yeah, man. It's not the, again, y'all, we understand, and like I said before so many times in this podcast, we see and we understand what racism is, right? And we see it in its functionality. We see it happening. But you want to quit talking about racism, but we're affected by it every day.
Bro.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, I don't understand. Like, listen, hey, look, brother, I want you to stop talking about your heart. Well, nigga, I can't live without it. Look, but what I want you to do, though, don't you ever talk about that heart again. I don't care if you know the veins or the ventricles. I don't care about that.
But how can I talk about my body if I don't talk about one of the most important...
Motherfucker, if you keep talking about heart, I swear to God, nigga, don't you talk about that heart no more.
But how can I talk about my blood without talking about the heart?
Your blood is... Because your blood, it just happens. What?
But how does it go? How does my blood get from my feet to my head?
Because of gravity.
But gravity will pull it down. So all my blood would be at my feet.
The heart.
Heart. Feet.
It's a glitch in the matrix somewhere.
Corn syrup.
It's a glitch in the matrix somewhere, man.
Pig feet.
It's a glitch in the matrix, and that's a wonderful analogy that we just used because
Wall paint.
The lifeblood of this country for so many generations
Rubik's Cube.
has been slavery, and it has been how it has affected both
Black coffee,
everything in this world, everything in this country. It has literally affected everything, man. So I'm confused.
Goat milk.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I'm
they
confused.
the same thing. Don't talk about heart though.
Don't talk. Whatever you say, don't talk about the heart. The brain moves your blood now.
It's
because that's where all the thinking comes from.
It's one of those things, bro. It's like you we see the Ganjutsu.
Yeah,
you're trying to take the context out of it.
Yeah,
and that's the issue that we have.
Because and again you know, one of my favorite comedians had said they were saying that in fact Ron DeSantis said that nobody should be made to feel guilty about what people before them did in this country. Okay,
nobody trying to make you feel guilty, bro.
So if it's white guilt, deal with it. What's one of the best? You deal with guilt by acknowledging that you have a problem, trying to solve the problem, rectify the problem in the most healthiest kind of way.
Right, but listen,
but y'all haven't done that. This country hasn't done that, especially when it comes to racism.
I don't want white people to feel guilty
I'm not saying feel guilty. I don't want them to feel guilty.
I don't listen. I don't want you to feel it. It's uncomfortable to talk about race now. Mm-hmm. I get it because of everything that happened in this country.
Yeah,
that's why niggas don't want to talk about it because it's uncomfortable. But I don't want you to feel guilty. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However,
you can't stop me from having a conversation.
It's not even that. When you talk to me, when you come up to me, and you either meet me or have a conversation with me, listen, I am a black man. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's not it. Contextually, I'm a black man who is a father, a business owner, a husband, a homeowner, you know what I'm saying? A fucking podcaster, an entrepreneur, fucking college graduate, graphic designer, artist, like all of that shit is a part of me. It's not just me being black. It's more to me than that. But that blackness, that is a part of me. And you cannot talk about me without that.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can't speak on me without that part.
Yes.
You can say all the other parts, but you can't leave that part out. And because you talk about that part doesn't mean you exclude the rest of it. You get what I'm saying? There's a balance to this shit.
Yeah.
Y'all have to figure out the balance. And that's what I said.
Yeah.
The common sense shit be the problem with the conservative motherfuckers.
Yeah, man.
It's the balance part of it. Bro, it's okay to talk about it. Yes, some conversations may be uncomfortable. And a lot of motherfuckers still hold a lot of pain. Yeah. Which on our part, on black people's part, that's why we need to go talk to therapists. That's why we need to get, as a community, we need to get our mental health in order.
Correct.
Because a lot of that shit do come off very painful and it comes off very harsh. But again, a lot of the pain that we went through, regardless of white people or whoever else, Asian people, whoever else, I don't give a fuck. Regardless if y'all want to believe this shit or not, a lot of our pain ain't our fault inherently.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm sorry. It's too many laws written certain ways where it's like, that's not, my nigga, I'm not a criminal. No. You know what I'm saying?
Criminal.
I'm not a criminal.
I'm not a criminal.
But certain people.
I'm damn sure the victor.
But the Burns Act.
Yeah. The 94 crime bill.
And the Burns Act combined with redlining.
Yeah.
And the statistics on where all the violent crimes happen.
Thank you so much.
Not the majority of crimes.
Yep.
But where the violent crime, where the majority of violent crimes happen.
Yep.
If I live in that area, the perception is I'm a criminal.
Yep.
Because of certain acts. Because again, police are incentivized to go after criminals. And again, the context legally on what criminal is, let's all be honest with each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I used to work with somebody who has a program, like an outreach program, like a nonprofit, where he go into the hood. He's a white guy, go into the hood, and tries to help young black men to get out of their situations, to rise above their situations on like, you know, community service and trying to get them to, you know, read and helping motherfuckers with employment and shit like that. Yeah. Why does he need to do that? Well, ain't nobody else in the hood doing it. But why? Because there ain't nobody in the hood shit. So why is he going in the hood to help them? If no one there ain't shit and they're all criminals, why would this white man be going into the hood to help these young black men, the young black boys and young black men rise above their situations?
Correct.
If inherently they just criminals and shit. You see what I'm saying? And motherfuckers would be like, well, that's because of that white guilt. That's not because of white guilt. Maybe some motherfuckers really do understand, okay, there's certain things. I mean, there's certain things in your situation where you play a part and you directly cause.
Yeah, definitely.
But there are, but let's be honest, again, not the country, the ideal of the country inherently, but the system that is governing over the ideal of what America is supposed to be. That system has put in certain things that make it harder for certain groups of people. If you don't believe it, you don't have to at this point. Fine.
Yeah, we'll move past your head is in the sand.
Like the Matrix, like we said, you can't save everybody. Y'all move out the way.
Yeah.
Talking to the motherfuckers who actually think. It is what it is. I can go through all the laws if you want me to.
Yeah.
We go through all of them.
And like I said, we named a few of the historical prevalent things that have happened in this country legally to African Americans. Yeah. And it's based simply on race. Come on, man.
We can go through the relevancy of all these laws and how they apply today to specific groups of people. We can go through it. It's legally there. It's literally written in law. Yeah. Literally written in law. Yep. So why would this brother, and by the way, the organization is called Just Serve. You know what I'm saying? So he goes into impoverished neighborhoods, the ghetto, and he pulls young black men and young black boys up to try to help them rise above their situations.
Correct.
He wouldn't have to do that if the government, if the people and the system governing over the ideal, the society that's supposed to be the better or the best society on the planet, he wouldn't have to do that if that system, not the ideal of what this country is supposed to be, but the system that governs over it, if they were better. He wouldn't have to do that shit. He would not have to do it. But it's not, so he has to. Because he felt a need in his heart to create a nonprofit to do that.
Yep.
If you don't get it at that point, I don't, there's no.
Some will never get it. Some will never get it.
And that's what I'm saying.
Some will never get it.
I keep going back to that because it's some of the realest shit I've ever heard. Like Morpheus said, my nigga, it's gonna be people in the Matrix Neo that are gonna fight you blindly. They're defending the Matrix, even though they're plugged in and they don't even know. They don't know they're fighting you. They're asleep. They'll always be asleep. There's nothing you can do. You're gonna have to go through that person. Yeah. You have to. The bigger picture is on the other side of those people. They're going to be used by the Matrix. They're going to try to kill you. You gotta go through that person, Neo. Yeah. It's the goal is bigger than any one person. You gotta go through them. So that's what this is here. Some motherfuckers not gonna get it. And for all the niggas who be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All the liberal people, they racist. These motherfuckers racist. I hate that rhetoric too. Everything that is against black people ain't racist.
That's true.
Surprise. It's not all racism. Sometimes it just be motherfuckers using that shit or using the guise of racism to get what they want. Sometimes the shit just be business. Don't even be racism. Niggas have to start discerning whether it's racist or not.
Yeah.
Because with the liberals, the Democrats, the whole left side of this equation have been doing for the last 40 years is saying everything is racist. That's a trigger word.
That's a trigger word.
And so now it triggers you to believe that every time somebody does something against niggas, it is automatically racist. That's not true. And in fact, niggas can't even discern what's prejudice and what's racist anymore. Niggas think things that are prejudice are now racist. That's not true either. There's a grand scale. There's a difference between what's prejudice and what's racist. You know what I'm saying? Were you about to play some church music?
No, that was on me. That was an accident. Sorry.
So leave that shit alone. That's all right. Damn. So all I'm saying is, goddamn, you mess with shit. Stop putting that shit on. Get this shit off here, man. Damn. Sorry. Fucking up the goddamn man.
Fucking up the church's money.
See, niggas, yeah, you
fucking with the church's money.
Fucking with the church's money. So listen, the issue really is, this is what's happening. This is why they doing this shit like that. Context.
Yep.
Context. It helps the environment that incubates critical thinking. Without context, you cannot think critically.
Can't do it.
Without
Impossible.
context,
I need all the facts, and from there, I will think and make a judgment. Yeah.
Critical race theory is just niggas thinking.
That's it.
That doesn't mean that everything that's said in critical race theory is absolutely fact. Doesn't mean that, again, we even chopped it up here. It's like, okay, some things that you can't look past. You can't just be like, oh, that didn't niggas were treated very well. Stop.
Come on, man. Come on.
Stop that. Slavery wasn't really what you thought it was. I mean, they were fed very well. They said people were given scraps and stuff like that. They were fed very well. Yes, maybe. You know what? In certain plantations, Massa did give the niggas, you know what I'm saying?
Healthy motherfuckers out there.
Yeah, oh,
absolutely.
Shit. Damn,
this motherfucker look good.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Y'all gonna get turned.
But he was still
we eat Thanksgiving
slave.
dinner. We eat Thanksgiving dinner. Y'all gonna eat the same goddamn Thanksgiving dinner. Wasn't that good, y'all?
He was still
y'all get your ass back out in that shed. All right, listen now. I gave you Thanksgiving dinner, so what I want tomorrow is 600 motherfucking bales from y'all. I think that's a good goddamn bargain. That's a good goddamn trade. That's what I think.
Still a slave.
All right,
Come
now don't make me
still
mad.
Owned. You were still owned.
Listen, we had good dinner. We had some ham hock. We had ham. We had turkey. We had that dressing with the green on them cousins that Mary Ann been growing out that back. Them nothing was good, wasn't it? Now that hell yeah, them cousin green was good hell. Listen now, listen now. We had a whole good supper.
Why does your slave master inherently Southern
disappoint me? Get out there and get me that cut.
Bumpkin Southern.
Go out there. That's Kentucky shit. Give me that goddamn cut. Like niggas didn't do like saying shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
How the fuck can you say something like that and say it with a straight face, yo? Like, the master fed the slaves good. That was your point that was your argument. That was your point of contention. No, they said people was being treated disrespectfully. The slaves were treated good. You just said the slaves.
The slaves. No matter how you slice that, the slaves.
And I'd be listening to them niggas, I'd be like, bro, what the fuck did that nigga just say?
He said the slaves. He said the slaves. That nigga said the slaves. I heard him.
Yo.
I heard him.
It's nothing you can do for those people, man.
Nothing.
So, we're gonna wrap the show up here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna wrap the show up here.
Yeah.
And as far as this critical race shit, again, just look, niggas. Well, I'm not saying niggas. White people.
Just America.
They just passed a fucking federal law to make Juneteenth a federal holiday.
Yeah.
Yet you can't talk about why Juneteenth
is now a holiday. Man.
Okay,
like y'all do understand that will negate several American holidays altogether.
Okay, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
If you think that's okay, in your head, if you think that makes sense, okay.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say to you is okay, and I'll move to somebody else because there's nothing I can say to you on that one. There's nothing I can say to y'all on that one.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. That's
for the niggas, for the liberal side, everything ain't white supremacy.
Yeah.
Just because it's racist doesn't mean it's white supremacy. White supremacy is insanity. Okay, racism at least is okay. It's based in hatred. Which hatred, there's a definition for it. White supremacy is the thought process of someone who was insane. So of course, white supremacy doesn't make sense. The motherfucker who created white supremacy, Adolf Hitler, the motherfucker who came up with it and coined the term, didn't even fit the image that he wanted to push. So there's no way. That's some other shit though. Some other shit. Yeah. Niggas, because they've kept believing the left all these fucking years, you can't discern now what's racist, what's prejudice, or what's white supremacy. You don't discern anything no. It's all one and the same now, which gets you fucked up when it comes to the social arguments, when it comes to the social conversation, because everything is white supremacy. It's like, that's not true. It's
not true.
That's not true. There's context to everything. You cannot, what y'all do, the same thing that these fucking governors and senators, these Republican governors and senators are trying to do to critical race theory. You're trying to remove the context. You cannot remove the context. It changes what it is.
We are in dangerous waters when you motherfuckers are trying to
dangerous waters right now.
Affect history. When you are trying to rewrite history, you are in dangerous waters.
Both sides
dangerous
do
water.
that. It's not just one side. Both sides
keep your
do
ears
that shit.
Open. Keep
where
your
they
shit
remove
tight.
Context from shit, and they're trying to change what they're saying to you.
Correct.
Because they don't want you to have the context. Because if you have context, context is the environment that incubates critical thinking. If you do not have context, you cannot think critically about anything. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, man.
So, listen, bro. I already told y'all niggas cancel Juneteenth. That's some other shit. That's some shit they trying to. That's that Ganjutsu. I watched too much Naruto to motherfucking. You know what I'm saying?
That's some.
Or Naruto.
One of these things is not like the other. That's all I know.
I watched too much of it, bro.
It's not like the other.
I know what the Ganjutsu is.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
I know what it is, bro. Listen, bro.
You got to be more careful.
That's a water clone jutsu. Don't you fucking hit that water clone. Don't you keep your Sharingan open. If you don't keep that Sharingan open, your motherfucking ass is fucked up. What Kwame said, that's that third. That's that Geechee, y'all.
That's that Geechee.
Same thing as the Sharingan.
That's it.
Keep your shit open, bro.
Keep your shit open.
Learn. Absorb what they're doing. It's a tactic, both left and right. So, you got anything else you want to say about this, my dude?
I got nothing else. I'm done with the critical race theory.
Is done. Listen, y'all already know the motherfucking vibe. You already know what it is.
You know what it is.
Go to our social media. You want to keep having these conversations, yo?
Let's go.
Go to our social media. That's at the 224 podcast.
Let's keep it active. Let's talk about it.
224 POD.
CAST.
Thank you, my brother. That's on every platform: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. It's all TikTok, all platforms.
All platforms.
I need to start fucking with the TikTok some more. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't like TikTok.
We got a TikTok.
I'm just be honest. Personally, I don't like TikTok, but I understand that we need to maybe have some more conversations.
Plus, we're in our 30s.
Put some more work in.
If it wasn't for our business, we personally don't have TikTok.
I don't have TikTok. I don't have a
I don't think a 34-year-old man should be on TikTok anyway. But
TikTok. But my teenagers are on TikTok.
Exactly. Yeah, the kids.
It's
are
like
on
maybe
TikTok,
if I put some shit on there, maybe they'll listen to what I'm saying. Maybe they'll be like,
oh, Daddy, we heard you on TikTok.
Pop. No, they want to say some shit. They were like, Pop, it's this podcast called 224 Podcast. You heard of it?
You know what?
Yeah, a little bit. I know a little bit about it.
I know a little bit about it.
What else they saying? They said some real stuff there, but you need to listen to them.
Oh, and they got to dance.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, all right. You need to listen to them. I'll give them a listen.
I'm gonna listen to them.
I'm gonna give them a little listen. That's all it is to it. They won't realize until a year later. Oh, that's you.
Be like,
that's how my teenagers are. But anyway, also listen. Wherever you get your fucking podcast fix,
we're there too.
That's everywhere. Apple, Spotify. Tune in. Google Play. iHeartRadio. SoundCloud. Podbean. Podcast Addict. Everywhere you can get your podcast fix
find us there.
We are there.
You can find us there.
The 224 podcast is the same everywhere. We want to make that shit easy for niggas.
That's right. Easy for you.
Because some motherfuckers might be, they might have, the such and such podcast for social media, then it's the such and such podcast 24, 72, 75.
Yeah, we ain't got time.
On a podcast
the branding
platform.
Simple, the branding's easy.
Branding. You got to keep your branding simple. You got to keep it mainline.
It's real easy for
everybody can find you. You know what I'm saying?
You guys. Don't worry.
So it's easy for everybody.
It's
man.
everybody. Come get some.
Like the good Dr. Eddie Griffin, something say this shit at the end of every episode. I don't give a fuck how motherfucking repetitive this shit gets. You gotta think.
Yes.
Keep thinking it's not illegal yet.
Yep.
They're literally now.
Yeah, again.
From when we started.
Yeah, from when we started.
From when we started.
Yep.
67 episodes ago.
Yep.
From when we started to now, they are literally now making laws to stop you thinking.
Yep.
Again, it's critical race theory, and they're banning theory.
The theory of it.
They're banning you talking about theory. They're literally now starting to ban you from thinking.
Sweet Jesus.
Doesn't matter if the thought is incorrect or, because you can correct incorrect shit. They don't even want you to think about being incorrect.
Don't you dare.
And listen, I'll humor niggas. Even if critical race theory is incorrect at the end of the day, the fact that they don't even want you to talk about this shit is a actual problem for all the niggas. It's hypocritical to what the governors were saying is because they're saying they don't want niggas to look at the country like it's inherently fucked up. But the very first thing in the Constitution is freedom of speech. Or what the First Amendment. Freedom, the First Amendment, out of all the amendments in the Constitution,
say what you want to say.
Say what you want to say. And this is the society they wanted to build. This is the ideal system. You can say what you want. And the government. See how it all comes together then? The government and the people governing
the government,
the ideal system, the belief system, the amendments.
That's right. Are telling you you can't
do that. The very first thing on the amendment, the first one, you can't do that.
Don't do that.
See, think it ain't illegal yet,
but damn, they trying.
But it's
damn, they are
trying. Are turning now. There's legislation in place now that sets a precedent. You need to start thinking quickly. Because in a little while, you're not going to be able to. True. With that being said, I'm Jay.
I'm Tyson, baby.
This is the 224 podcast.
224.
We'll see you niggas tomorrow.
Peace. We out.